Douluo I am an ice shooter invincible in ice power Chapter 1-25. Chapter 1 Awakening the Martial Soul. Douluo Continent, Tianshui City. Xiao Han, I don't have time to accompany you to the Martial Soul Hall to awaken the martial soul. I have already told Teacher Lu to take you there. No, I'll go by myself. You can do your own things and don't worry about me. Lin Jurio's face suddenly changed and she said seriously. Yesterday you sneaked into the academy and I haven't beaten you yet. Be honest today and don't cause trouble for me. Otherwise, I will settle yesterday's account together and you will suffer. Got it. After Lin Jurio left, Xiao Han immediately put on a blue wig. Xiao Han is a time traveler who has been in this world for 6 years. In the original world, he came from a family of traditional Chinese medicine and was a college student in a medical school. When he traveled to this world, he was still in the womb. Not long after his mother gave birth to him, she died with his father in the far north. It was his mother's best friend Lin Jurio who adopted him. Lin Jurio is an unmarried single woman, 38 years old, a 72nd level agility attack war soul saint, and the vice president of Tianshui College. She is well maintained and looks gentle, but in fact has a hot temper. For the past 6 years, Xiao Han and Lin Jurio have lived under the same roof, calling each other mother and son. As a time traveler who has retained the memory of his previous life, Xiao Han has shown extraordinary medical talents since he was a child. He was able to read pictures and recognize various herbs and human acupuncture points at a very early age. At the age of 5, he became famous in Tianshui City with his superb acupuncture skills and was hailed as a genius little doctor. However, in this world where the weak are the prey of the strong, no matter how powerful a doctor is, it is useless. Being a powerful soul master is the dream of every ordinary person. Xiao Han certainly wanted to be that kind of person, but his parents' martial spirits were relatively ordinary, so the dream of becoming a top powerhouse might be difficult to achieve. Therefore, he had thought of a way out early on. If he couldn't become a soul master, he would become the most powerful doctor in Tianshui City. There are so many beautiful women in Tianshui City, making a lot of money and marrying a beautiful woman is also a good choice. Today is the day of the annual Martial Spirit Awakening Ceremony. There are 2 places for children of appropriate age in Tianshui City to awaken their martial spirits. One is the branch hall of the Wuhun Hall, and the other is Tianshui College. Tianshui College is open to civilians, so girls over the age of 6 can come to participate in the college's martial spirit awakening ceremony. However, Tianshui College only recruits beautiful female students with water attributes, so in the end only those who meet the requirements can stay as they wish. As the vice president of Tianshui College, Lin Jurio is always busy on this day every year. After packing up, Xiao Han also went out. Tianshui College is right at the doorstep, just a few steps away. Xiao Han was too lazy to run, because awakening the martial soul was the same no matter where he was. He was only 6 years old this year, and he wore a wig, so he couldn't be seen as a boy. Many people had gathered at the entrance of the college. Tianshui College was a real women's college, from the dean to the cleaning lady, all of them were women. There was a striking slogan on the gate, "Men are not allowed to enter." The awakening ceremony was held on the training ground. Xiao Han mixed in with the hundreds of girls waiting to awaken their martial souls, and lined up with them in a long queue. The martial soul awakening ceremony was divided into 2 parts, awakening the martial soul and testing the soul power. Everyone on Douluo continent had their own martial soul, but most people's martial souls were not suitable for cultivation, so they could only be ordinary people. After awakening their martial souls, only a small number of people had soul power and were suitable for cultivation. The martial soul awakening ceremony was exciting, but most people would return disappointed. While Xiao Han was waiting in line, many distraught girls passed by him. Seaweed spirit, no attack power, no defense, another useless spirit. Next. It's my turn soon. The girl in front of Xiao Han suddenly said excitedly. The girl had dark green shoulder-length hair, looking playful and cute. Hey, if you can't be a spirit master, don't cry. No, I'm not that kind of person. Faced with Xiao Han's ridicule, the girl didn't take it seriously and seemed very optimistic. Next. It's finally my turn. The girl walked forward generously. Xiao Han lowered his head silently, not daring to look at Lin Zhiro, who was sitting in the jury seat. A tall, gentle-looking woman stood at the front of the team. I'm your guide, I'll help you awaken your spirit first, don't be afraid. Well, I'm not afraid at all. The girl stepped into the 6 blue ice crystals without hesitation, within the circle. Immediately afterwards, the leader released his Ice Goose martial soul, and then injected the soul power into the 6 blue ice crystals on the ground. Layers of light suddenly released from the 6 blue ice crystals, forming an icy blue light shield that enveloped the girl. Blue light spots floated out from the ice crystals on the ground and fell on the girl. Stretch out your right hand. The girl subconsciously stretched out her right hand, and all the light spots rushed out. In the blink of an eye, a small dolphin with a body as crystal as jade appeared in her hand. Seeing this scene, the leader's eyes instantly glowed with excitement. It's a jade dolphin with both speed and attack power. So many girls have finally awakened a useful martial soul. Use your mind to take back your martial soul and come here to test your soul power. Good. The girl nodded happily and tried to take back her martial spirit. Then he walked out of the circle, came to the table nearby, and placed his young hands on the blue crystal ball used to test soul power. Has soul power, level 7. What's your name? Shui Yue. Well, it's very good. You can become an agility attack system soul master in the future. You can stay in our academy. Go and register there. Okay, thanks. When she was about to leave, Shui Yue looked back at Xiao Han and made a playful gesture towards him. I'm going to be a soul master. It's your turn next. I wish you good luck. Xiao Han didn't expect that the girl turned out to be Shui Binger's half-sister Shui Yue. Just when he looked up at Shui Yue, he accidentally met Lin Zhiro's eyes. Lin Zhiro immediately noticed something was wrong, stood up quickly, and roared. Xiao Han. What are you doing here? Lin Zhiro came to Xiao Han in an instant and grabbed his ear. Do you think I won't be able to recognize you like this? I asked you to go to the Wuhun Hall to awaken your Wuhun. Why are you here to join in the fun? Chapter 2 Innate Soul Power. Lin Zhiro's sudden move shocked everyone. Shui Yue hadn't finished registering her name yet, so she stood there with a confused look on her face, looking at Xiao Han who was being beaten. Mom, let me go quickly. With so many people watching, I don't want to lose face. Who is your mother? I don't have a son like you. Oh, isn't it convenient for me? It's the same as awakening the martial soul here anyway. If you still dare to be so stubborn, you're just fooling around. I've been queuing here for an hour, it hurts. Xiao Han felt his ears hurt more and more. Lin Zhiro was really angry this time. Mom, you're going to tear my ears off soon. Xiao Han's wig suddenly fell off, revealing his long silver-gray shawl hair, and everyone burst into laughter. Zhiro, forget it. Xiao Han has been naughty since he was a child, so let's spare him this time. It's his turn, let him awaken his martial spirit here. The person who spoke was the dean of Tianshui College. He was in his 70s, a level 81 Contra, and was the only Contra in Tianshui College. Only then did Lin Zhiro let go of Xiao Han. For the sake of Dean Zhao, I will spare you this time. If you can awaken a useful martial spirit, I will send you to another college to prevent you from causing trouble for me. Thank you, Dean Zhao, for interceding for me. Xiao Han finished speaking with a smile, rubbed the red ear, and consciously entered the circle. Beautiful sister, please help me awaken my martial spirit. You're quite sweet. You'd better avoid causing more trouble in the future. Okay, got it. Following the leader's control, an icy blue light enveloped Xiao Han. Xiao Han suddenly felt a cool feeling, indescribable comfort, and even the pain in his ears disappeared instantly. The cool breath penetrated into Xiao Han's body, and Xiao Han felt that there was an invisible force in his body, which seemed to burst out of the restraints and flowed into his palm. The leader's eyes suddenly lit up. In the icy blue light mask, there were more blue light spots this time than the total of the dozen children tested before. She vaguely felt that a powerful martial spirit was about to appear. Xiaohan subconsciously raised his right hand, and a dense ice-blue mass appeared in the palm of his right hand. When they saw the martial spirit clearly, the 2 deans and 3 chief instructors in the auditorium all widened their eyes. That's the ice bow and arrow. The bow and arrow appeared at the same time. Dean Zhao was so excited that he immediately sat up and came to Xiaohan's side. Xiaohan, stretch out your left hand and try to take away the arrow. Xiaohan stretched out his left hand and easily separated the bow and arrow. He held the arrow in his right hand and the bow in his left hand. The ice bow and ice arrow appeared on the same person at the same time. How could there be such a strange martial spirit? This is the first time I have seen this happen in so many years. Yeah. It's like twin martial spirits, but it's not. There are many ice attribute soul masters on Douluo continent, and Xiaohan's parents were both during their lifetime. His father's martial spirit is the ice bow, and his mother's martial spirit is the ice arrow. Ice bow soul masters need to condense their soul power into arrows in order to exert their maximum attack power. Similarly, an ice arrow soul master needs to use soul power to make a bow in order to maximize its power. Although they all have good cold attribute attacks, they need to use their soul power to make arrows or bows, so they consume a lot of their own soul power and it is difficult to continue fighting. Seeing Xiaohan's martial spirit, Lin Zhurio's eyes flashed with disbelief. Xiaohan's martial spirit is actually the fusion skill of his parents' martial arts, Junbing bow and arrow. Dean Lin, is this the Junbing bow and arrow? Junbing is the ultimate ice, it cannot melt when exposed to fire, and its cold power is second only to ultimate ice. Although Xiaohan's parents are both soul kings in their 50s, their martial soul fusion skill, the perfect ice bow and arrow, not only has powerful attack power, but also powerful deceleration and control effects. This martial soul fusion skill greatly increases their overall strength. Even if they encounter opponents with soul powers 20 levels higher than them, they are not weak at all. Who would have thought that Xiaohan would awaken such a miraculous martial spirit? Xiaohan, come here, I'll test your soul power. Dean Zhao was a little excited. He put one hand on the crystal ball and planned to test Xiaohan's soul power himself. Lin Zhuruo also became inexplicably nervous and looked at Xiaohan expectantly. Xiaohan, go quickly. Xiaohan waved his right hand lightly and put away his martial spirit easily. Then he came to the crystal ball, and under the gaze of everyone, he gently put his immature right hand on it. The moment Xiaohan's right hand touched the crystal ball, his body seemed to be sucked by an invisible force and trembled uncontrollably. The blue crystal ball suddenly lit up, overflowing with blue light, like a dazzling gem. Once the tester comes into contact with the soul power tester, even if only a trace of light escapes, it proves that the person being tested has soul power. The brighter the light, the higher the innate soul power. Shui Yuei had a 7th level soul power when she first took the test. Among the children who had just awakened their martial souls, they were already considered outstanding. When Xiaohan tested it, the light released from the crystal ball was unmatched by Shui Yuei. Oh my god, he is actually full of innate soul power. Dean Zhao was very excited. Is it really true that you are innately full of soul power? Absolutely. This is the first time since our Tianshui Academy's Wuhun Awakening ceremony was held that innate full soul power has appeared. Several chief instructors were very excited. Yes. When Shui Binger awakened her martial soul last year, she was tested to be at the 9th level of Shantian, which is already the highest record in the history of our Tianshui College. Unexpectedly, just 1 year later, this record was broken by Xiaohan. Shui Binger's martial spirit is the top-notch beast martial spirit, Ice Phoenix. Following Feng Xiaoshan from Divine Wind Academy, our water element department finally has a talented soul master with full soul power. Everyone was discussing Xiaohan's strange martial soul and innate soul power, and seemed to have forgotten that there were many children waiting to awaken the martial soul. Lin Zhurio's eyes were already filled with tears. She was so excited that she couldn't speak. She silently muttered in her heart. Brother Xiao, Yi, have you seen it? Your son Xiaohan is really outstanding. Xiaohan stood on tiptoes and tried to wipe the tears on Lin Zhurio's face with his sleeves. Mom, I'm sorry, I will never make you angry again. Lin Zhiro touched Xiao Han's head with a loving look on her face, and then held him in her arms. Silly boy, I don't blame you. I didn't expect you to be so good. I'm proud of you. Dean Zhao was very happy to meet a rare ice attribute child with innate soul power. Xiao Han, you go to the academy to play for a while. I'll find you later. Okay. Dean Zhao, can I stay in Tianshui College to study? Chapter 3 Don't worry about Wuhun Palace. After hearing Xiao Han's words, Dean Zhao and the teachers were stunned. Since its establishment, Tianshui College has never accepted male students. Although Xiao Han is a genius with innate soul power, a rare talent encountered in a century, with unlimited potential, he does not meet the conditions for Tianshui College to recruit students. Xiao Han, what are you talking about? You go and play first. Lin Zhirio's words broke the awkward atmosphere. I was just joking, hee hee. Xiao Han took Shui Yue's little hand. Yue, let's go, I'll take you to find your sister. You know my sister. Of course. Your sister is Shui Binger. After Xiao Han left, the scene returned to calm, and the Wuhun awakening ceremony continued. The other side. Shui Binger was practicing in the ice pavilion when her heartbeat suddenly accelerated, as if she had broken through some kind of restraint in her body. Successful, I finally broke through the 10th level. Now I can hunt the soul beasts and get my first soul ring. After awakening the martial soul, most people still need an adaptation process, and then gradually explore and find a cultivation method that suits them. So, usually there won't be much improvement in the first year. Shui Binger's ice phoenix spirit was too powerful, and she couldn't control the spirit's power in the early stage of awakening, so it took her more than half a year to adapt. She has a good understanding, and her soul power has been improved by one level after only 3 or 4 months of practice. Elder sister. Yue, how did you find this place? It was Xiao Han who brought me here. Shui Binger and Xiao Han have only met, for more novels, 11,630, join. One time, just yesterday. Why did you come to the academy again? Aren't you afraid of your mother beating you? Why didn't you go to the spirit hall to awaken your spirit? Sister, Xiao Han has already awakened his spirit. His spirit is the Junbing bow and arrow, and it is also innate full spirit power. What? Innate full spirit power? Shui Binger looked at Xiao Han, her face full of disbelief. Their conversation also attracted the attention of others. Yu Haro and Yu Qingbo came over. Xiao Han, do you really have innate full spirit power? Yes. Dean Zhao tested it for me personally. Then you awakened your spirit in our academy. Yes. Look, I haven't changed into this women's clothes yet, and I was caught by my mother again, and I got a beating. You deserve it. Several people laughed. Yu Qingbo suddenly said. I didn't expect Xiao Han to have full soul power. It's a pity that Xiao Han is not a girl and can't stay in our academy. Yes, if Dean Lin sends Xiao Han away, we won't see Xiao Han anymore. What's more terrifying is that if we meet a strong opponent of the same attribute like Xiao Han in the Soul Master competition, I'm afraid we will be helpless. Xiao Han smiled proudly. Don't worry, sisters. If I become your opponent, I will let him go. Tisk, you really took it seriously. Yu Qingbo looked at Shui Binger and asked. Binger, who is this? My dear sister, Shui Yue. By the way, Yue, what martial soul have you awakened? What level of soul power is it? Yingyu Dolphin Martial Soul, Soul Power Level 7, I can study with you in the future. Not bad, welcome new students. Shui Yue was very happy. Sister, what is your soul power level now? Have you broken through level 10? Yes, I just broke through today. Binger, congratulations. Yu Haro said. Yu Haro is a strong attacking soul master, 9 years old this year. Since awakening the Coral Barracuda, she has studied in Tianshui College for 3 years and is only at level 14 now. Binger and Xiao Han are both level 10, and you can get your first soul ring. Yes. Xiao Han and Shui Binger smiled at each other. They will soon get their first soul ring. On the other side. After the martial soul awakening ceremony, Dean Zhao called several leaders of the college to the conference room. I think you already know that Xiaohan awakened a strange martial soul in today's martial soul awakening ceremony, and it is still innate full soul power. Everyone here has watched Xiaohan grow up. He wants to stay in our college. What do you think about this? Everyone started to discuss. I agree. An ice-attributed soul master with innate full soul power is rare in a century. Maybe it will become a good story in our academy in the future. The problem is that our academy only recruits female students and has no precedent of recruiting male students. Rules are dead, but people are alive. Can't we make an exception once? Looking at the entire Douluo continent, which academy's resources can be more conducive to the growth of ice-attributed soul masters than our Tianshui Academy? I'm afraid it's only the Spirit Hall Academy. The news that Xiaohan has innate full soul power should have spread. I believe that people from the Spirit Hall branch will come to poach him soon. Under Bibi Dong's management, the Spirit Hall is no longer the original Spirit Hall. I don't want Xiaohan to be taken away by them. Alas, what a pity, Xiaohan is a man. In the heated discussion, Lin Zhuro never spoke. Dean Zhao suddenly asked, Zhuro, what do you think? Lin Zhuro was very conflicted. She had said those words to Xiaohan in anger. Of course, she wanted to keep Xiaohan by her side, but she didn't want to break the rules of Tianshui College because of Xiaohan. If Xiaohan wasn't her adopted son, she would agree to keep him. President Zhao, I'll listen to you. President Zhao thought for a moment and suggested. Why don't we let Xiaohan be a nominal student and stay in our Tianshui College to study? What do you think? Then can he join the college's team and participate in future Soul Master competitions? Yes, as a substitute. President Zhao's suggestion is very good, I agree. Yes, I agree too. Everyone nodded in agreement. President Zhao was very happy. Then it's decided. As an old college, Tianshui College has shown its impressive strength in previous Soul Master competitions, but has never entered the final three. This year's Soul Master competition just ended, and Wuhandian College won the championship without any surprise. The two elemental academies, Thunder and God Wind, once again ranked ahead of Tianshui Academy. With the gifted new generation like Xiaohan and Shui Binger, they might be able to make a difference in the Soul Master competition 10 years later. The leaders of Tianshui Academy seemed to see the hope of surpassing Thunder and God Wind. As soon as the meeting ended, the bishop of the branch of the Spirit Hall of Tianshui City came to the door in person. Children with innate full soul power are definitely the key recruitment targets of the Spirit Hall Academy. Dean Zhao, I heard that at today's Spirit Awakening ceremony, a boy awakened the true ice bow and arrow spirit, and it was innate full soul power. That child will definitely become a great talent if he is placed in our Spirit Hall Academy for training. What about him? Sorry, we kept that child for ourselves. What? Doesn't your Tianshui Academy only accept girls? For him, we decided to make an exception and accept him as a nominal student, so that we don't have to bother you. Wuhan Palace have taken the trouble. Chapter 4 Cause of Death of Parents. Seeing Dean Zhao's firm attitude, the bishop had no choice but to leave. In fact, he also knew very well that Tianshui Academy, which respected extreme flow, could indeed provide better training resources for ice and water soul masters. The other side. While Shui Binger and the others were resting, Xiaohan chatted with them. I may have to leave Tianshui City soon, and it will be even harder to see you in the future. What a pity. If you were a girl, you could stay with us in the academy. Xiaohan looked down and said with a bad smile. Otherwise, cut it. Oh, what did you say? It's so disgusting. Several girls blushed instantly. Yu Haro and Ji Qingbo poked Xiaohan's head with their fingers. What's going on in your little head? Lin Zhuro did not allow Xiaohan to enter Tianshui College at will, but Xiaohan sneaked in whenever he had the chance. Yu Haro was 9 years old and Ji Qingbo was 8 years old. They met Xiaohan earlier. Although they didn't meet many times, they had a relatively good relationship. While a few people were making a fuss, Lin Zhuro came over. Hello, Dean Lin. Yu Haro and Ji Qingbo immediately restrained themselves and stood obediently beside Shui Binger and Shui Yuei. Lin Zhuro looked at Shui Yuei and smiled. From now on, you will also be a member of our Tianshui Academy. You must practice well. Yes, Dean Lin, I will work hard. Lin Zhuro nodded and turned to Xiaohan. Xiaohan, follow me. Xiaohan glanced at the four girls in front of him with some reluctance. Sisters, goodbye. Goodbye, Xiaohan. Yu Haro and Ji Qingbo were also a little reluctant to give up. Looking at Xiaohan's retreating figure, Shui Yuei said. Sister, although this is the first time I've met Xiaohan today, he seems quite interesting. Well, it's just a bit unseemly. Tilde. Lin Zhuro walked in front, Xiaohan followed closely behind. Mom, where are we going? Going home. Go to the dean's office. Do what? You'll know when you go there. The two quickly arrived at Dean Zhao's office. Hello, Dean Zhao. Xiaohan is here. Dean Zhao put aside his usual dignity and looked like a kind old lady. Xiaohan, do you really want to stay and study in our college? Of course. Is that okay? Dean Zhao nodded. We discussed the issue of accepting you, and finally decided to make an exception and let you stay. Really? Xiaohan was a little excited and looked back at Lin Zhuro, who nodded towards him. It's true, brat, you got your wish. Yeah, that's great. Mom, I can't bear to leave you. Dean Zhao chuckled. Xiaohan, you have your name in our academy. If you can join the academy's team in the future, you can be a substitute. No problem at all. Xiaohan knew that the college did this to minimize the impact of recruiting him. After all, he was a boy. Xiaohan, I told you in advance that you must practice well after coming to the academy and you can't be as naughty as before. Otherwise, I will still send you away, and no one can protect you. I know, Mom. By the way, my soul power has reached level 10. Can I hunt soul beasts? What's the rush? I'll take you there. Shui Binger's soul power has also exceeded level 10. Really? Well, she just broke through today. Dean Zhao and Lin Zhuro looked at each other and smiled, feeling deeply pleased. That kid Binger is not only talented, but also smart and eager to learn, and has a calm personality. His future achievements will never be inferior to yours or mine. Well, I'm optimistic about her too. Zhuro, after arrangements are made for enrollment, you can take the two of them to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts. Okay, that's what I meant. Xiaohan is looking forward to the upcoming first soul ring. After dinner, Lin Zhuro came to Xiaohan's room. Starting from tomorrow, Xiaohan will live in the college. Xiaohan, have everything been packed? Well, it's all packed up. There are two things here left by your parents. You have become a soul master, and they will come in handy. As Lin Zhuro spoke, she handed the box in her hand to Xiaohan. Xiaohan couldn't wait to take it and opened it to take a look. There are two things in that box. It also looks like a belt and exudes a faint cold air. The other is a short sword, about 30 centimeters long, which also exudes cold air. Mom, is this a soul guide used for storage? It's called Snowy Soul Satin. It has a large storage space and can store even living creatures. Give it a try. Good. Xiaohan tied the Snowy Soul Satin around his waist and felt a cool feeling instantly. Then I took a few things and put them in and took them out to try. It's quite useful. After Xiaohan finished speaking, he picked up the dagger and pulled it out of the scabbard. The blade was as thin as ice crystal, and the dazzling cold light suddenly pierced his eyes. This short sword is made of ice marrow and cold iron. It is extremely sharp and can break gold and stone. It is indeed a sword. Lin Zhuro nodded, her eyes a little red. Xiaohan joked, Mom, I'm going to live in the school tomorrow. Are you reluctant to let me go? It's better if you leave. I don't know how quiet it will be if I'm alone. Then why are you crying? Lin Zhuro sighed. These two things were originally prepared by your parents as a birthday gift for you. It's a pity that they. Xiaohan had no impression of his parents in this life. He heard about his parents from Lin Zhuro. Mom, I'm grown up now, and I may become a powerful soul master in the future. You can always tell me how my parents died, right? Lin Zhuro nodded. It's time to tell you. Your parents and their group of 10 people encountered an extremely ferocious soul beast in the frozen forest. Except for a spirit master with the ability to fly who escaped, the other 9 people all died in the mouth of the soul beast. What kind of soul beast was that? According to the survivor, it was a giant tiger with a pure black body and a length of more than 8 meters. Although the soul beast was huge, it was very fast. The man didn't have time to see its full appearance and quickly fled the scene. Chapter 5 Swear to kill the dark demon evil god tiger. A pure black tiger. Xiao Han was thoughtful. As a time traveler, based on his understanding of the Douluo world, the black tiger is most likely the dark demon evil god tiger. The dark demon evil god tiger is almost extinct. It challenged the Titan giant ape and the azure bull python for dominance in the core circle of the Star Do Great Forest, and was driven out of the Star Do Great Forest after failing. Xiao Han guessed that after being driven out of the Xingdu Forest, it might have gone to the frozen forest in the far north. Lin Zhuro said earnestly. Xiao Han, in fact, being a soul master is also very dangerous. The threats you face come not only from soul beasts, but also from human soul masters. You will experience it in the future. Soul master training is a long process. Innate full soul power only means that your starting point is higher than others, but what kind of achievements you can achieve in the future depends on your acquired efforts. In order to protect yourself and your loved ones, you must continue to become stronger. Well, I know. Okay, you should rest early. We will go to the academy together tomorrow morning. Xiao Han was a little excited to join Tianshui College as he wished. He lay on the bed and found it difficult to fall asleep. My parents in this life were killed by the dark demon evil tiger. That guy is so powerful that he is comparable to a 100,000 level soul beast. Even a master of the title Douluo level can hardly kill it. But the hatred of my parents is irreconcilable. One day I will kill it with my own hands. Early in the morning of the next day, Xiao Han and Lin Zhuro came to the dormitory building of Tianshui College. There are 700 or 800 girls in the college, and most of them live in this huge dormitory building. The youngest of them is only 6 years old, and the oldest is no more than 25 years old. All the beauties in and out of the dormitory building are dazzling. Xiao Han's eyes lit up. Mom, do I have to live in this dormitory building too? What the hell are you thinking? You are not a girl. Then why did you bring me here? Hey, you live in that room. Following Lin Zhurio's gaze, a separate small house appeared in front of him. The small house was only about 10 meters away from the girls' dormitory building. It looked inconspicuous in front of the huge and beautiful dormitory building, like a security booth. Xiao Han followed Lin Zhuro to his single dormitory. Although the house was not luxurious, it was clean and tidy, and it was comfortable for one person to live in. Lin Zhuro helped Xiao Han clean up the house and prepared to leave. Xiao Han, you can live here with peace of mind in the future. You can't sneak into the girls' dormitory. If I catch you once, you're done. I know my limits. I'm leaving first, you should report to the classroom immediately. Okay. The class time was approaching, and more beauties came out of the dormitory building. Xiao Han also walked out of his room and headed towards the teaching building. His appearance immediately caused a lot of discussion among the girls. Isn't this the child adopted by Dean Lin? Yes. I heard that he awakened a strange martial soul yesterday, and it is full of innate soul power. Full innate soul power is amazing, maybe that's why he can stay in our college. Yes. Xiao Han didn't care about the eyes of the crowd. Xiao Han. Xiao Han was walking when a voice suddenly came from behind. He turned around and found that the people coming were the sisters Shui Binger and Shui Yuei. Shui Binger asked. Xiao Han, have you also moved into the college? Yes, I just moved in. Do you know? Yes, Dean Zhao told me. Then you should also know that my mother will take us to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts soon. Yes. Shui Binger smiled and nodded, looking forward to the upcoming journey. Yuei, I have to go to the training ground. You and Xiao Han should go to the classroom together. Okay. Shui Binger said, and then separated from Xiao Han. Today is the first day of class. Shui Yuei looked around and seemed very excited. By the way, what month were you born? June, how about you? I was born in May, 1 month older than you. So I will call you Xiaohan from now on. Okay. However, we are only 1 month apart, so I will call you Uaa. It's up to you. Whatever makes you happy. Shui Uaa is a straightforward girl, still very childish. The two soon arrived in the classroom. The classroom is full of girls. Xiaohan's arrival suddenly attracted everyone's attention. Wow, it's him, the one wearing women's clothes yesterday. Don't laugh, I'm born with a lot of soul power. You can get your first soul ring just after awakening your martial soul. It's really enviable. Yes. While everyone was discussing, a slender, beautiful woman who looked to be in her late 20s came in. Hello everyone, I am Shu Weiwei, the teacher of your freshman class. Hello, teacher. Today we will first get familiar with each other and the school environment. The next step is to introduce yourself. The girls introduced their names, martial arts and innate soul power one by one. The last one was Xiaohan's turn. Xiaohan stood up and said calmly. Hello everyone, my name is Xiaohan, my martial soul is the Junbing bow and arrow, and my innate soul power is level 10. Please give me your advice. Everyone cast envious looks at Xiaohan. Shu Weiwei looked at Xiaohan, her eyes full of admiration. Classmates, Xiaohan is the first student with innate soul power since the founding of our Tianshui College. He was admitted by our college under exceptional circumstances. As a soul master, the starting point is important, but the cultivation of the day after tomorrow is more important. Even if your innate soul power is not high, but as long as you find the right method and work hard enough, you can still achieve your goals. Clear. According to our school rules, as long as the soul power reaches level 40 or above, you can graduate from the academy. The upper age limit for further study in the academy is 25 years old. Once you reach that age, you cannot continue to stay in the academy. Clear. Shu nodded slightly and then said. Many of you should have heard of the Continental Advanced Soul Master Academy Elite Competition, which is held every 5 years. This year's Soul Master competition has just ended. Our Tianshui College has achieved top 5 results, but it is still behind Kamikaze and Thunder College. Whether we can surpass those two elemental colleges in the future depends on you. After each Soul Master competition, the Academy will form a new team to cope with the next Soul Master competition. In other words, 5 years later, a new team will be reorganized to handle the next Soul Master competition. By then, all of you will be eligible to compete for a spot in the Academy team. Therefore, from now on, you must practice hard. Chapter 6 You will become the captain. Colleges participating in the Soul Master competition can not only demonstrate their own strength, but also attract many sponsors, and even enjoy imperial royal subsidies, which has many benefits for the development of the college. Therefore, the Soul Master Academy attaches great importance to the Soul Master competition. Although Tianshui College is a purely women's college, as an old college, its overall strength is quite good. However, they have never entered the final 3. This is also one of the goals they strive to achieve. Xiaohan knew that according to the original timeline, Tianshui College would still not be among the top 3 in the Soul Master competition 10 years later. But, the situation is different now. As a time traveler who is familiar with the plot, he has every opportunity to change everything that has not happened yet. 10 years is enough. 2 days later, Lin Zhuro took Xiaohan and Shui Binger to the frozen forest in the far north. The 3 of them took a carriage and headed north, arriving at their destination after more than half a month. After getting off the carriage, the 3 of them walked into the forest. This world of ice and snow seems to be an ancient secret realm left in nature, sealed forever by endless ice and snow. Stepping into this area, a biting and fresh cold air hit your face, reaching your bones, making people involuntarily shocked. Surrounded by endless snow-capped mountains, they stand tall and towering. The peaks are covered with white snow all year round. The sun occasionally penetrates the clouds and shines on them, shining with a dazzling and mysterious light. At the foot of the mountain is a strange forest composed of huge ice crystal trees. The branches of these trees are crystal clear, as if carved from the purest ice, while the leaves are made of tiny icicles, making a crisp and sweet sound with the breeze. The ground was covered with thick snow, which was soft when stepped on, leaving deep footprints with every step. This was the first time that Xiao Han and Shui Binger came to the forest to hunt soul beasts, and they were both very excited. The three of them were walking and chatting. "It's so beautiful here," Shui Binger praised. Lin Zhuro smiled and shook her head. "Binger, I felt the same way when I first came here. We are all cold attribute soul masters, so we don't feel much about the extremely low temperature here. But for those non-cold attribute soul masters, this place is a place of death. Because they have to constantly consume their soul power to resist the cold, the colder it gets towards the center of the forest, the more unbearable it is for them. Therefore, many soul masters die in this forest every year. Dean Lin, I don't understand why those non-cold attribute soul masters would risk coming here to hunt soul beasts. Because there are soul beasts here that are not found in the Stardow forest, such as mirror shadow beasts, ice demon snakes, etc. Moreover, the soul beasts that survive in this extreme environment are even more powerful." Shui Binger nodded in understanding. Regarding those cold-attributed soul beasts, she had learned something about them from the books in the college library. Some cold-attributed soul beasts did have special abilities. Lin Zhuro continued. "I could have taken you to the Stardow forest to search for their suitable water-attributed soul beasts, but the soul beasts with cold attributes in the frozen forest are definitely more suitable for you." "Mom, I know this. If the attributes are perfectly matched, the strength will definitely increase more after absorbing the soul ring or soul bone." "Yes. This is your first soul ring, so you can't be careless." Xiao Han laughed. "In this case, Mom, please help Binger and me find soul beasts with an age of about 400 years. After absorbing the soul ring, it may help us improve our soul power by 2 levels. You are only 6 years old, and your first soul ring is 400 years old. Are you kidding? With Binger's physique and mental strength, she may be able to barely absorb a 400-year soul ring, but you may not be able to." "No kidding. Mom, I'm serious." Xiao Han knew that according to the theory that Yu Xiaogang had secretly learned from the Spirit Hall, under normal circumstances, the maximum age limit for a spirit master to absorb the first spirit ring is 423 years. However, the spirit quality, physical fitness and mental strength of different spirit masters are different, and this is only a theoretical age limit. Lin Zhuro suddenly thought of something and scolded. "Xiao Han, don't be disrespectful, Binger is your senior sister." "Dean Lin, it's okay, I'm only 1 year older than Xiao Han." As she was talking, Lin Zhuro suddenly stopped moving forward. "There are already spirit beasts nearby." "Where are they?" Lin Zhuro pointed to the ground. "There are many ice silkworms that have cultivated for decades in this snowy land, but they have little attack power. If we go further, we may encounter a 100-year-old spirit beast. Let's go to the front and take a look." The three continued to walk deeper into the forest. The closer they got to the core of the forest, the more ferocious the soul beasts became. However, the purpose of their trip was to hunt soul beasts that had cultivated for 100 years, which could be encountered on the outskirts of the forest, so there was no need to go to the center of the forest. Lin Zhurio's 7 soul rings were all obtained in the frozen forest, and she had a better understanding of the terrain of this forest. But she was still alert at all times, because even if she didn't reach the center of the forest, ferocious soul beasts might appear. "You two must be tired after walking for so long, right? It's getting dark, let's find a cave to rest." "Yes." Lin Zhuro led the two to the foot of a mountain, where there was a cave. The cave was very small, only about 10 square meters. Xiao Han looked carefully and saw that there seemed to be traces left by human soul masters. "Mom, is this the place you often stay?" "Yes. It's not easy to find a decent cave in the frozen forest. Staying here can temporarily avoid the wind and snow, but it is also very dangerous. There may be soul beasts waiting in the dark. With Mom here, it's not certain who the rabbit is. We use ourselves as bait to attract them, and maybe we can hunt the right soul beast." Lin Zhuro smiled, and seemed to have the same idea. "It's getting late, you and Binger should rest first, I'll keep watch." "Okay, thank you Mom for your hard work." After Xiao Han set up the tent, he slept with Shui Binger, but not in the same quilt, each sleeping separately. Looking at Shui Binger's watery eyes, Xiao Han asked, Binger, are you afraid? With Dean Lin here, of course I'm not afraid. I have a hunch that in 5 years, you will join the Tianshui College team and become the new captain. Shui Binger smiled gently. The main players and substitutes of the college team only have 11 people in total, selected from hundreds of people. You say I can be the captain. I don't believe it. You have to have confidence in yourself. My premonition is very accurate. What about you? With my talent, I will definitely be able to join the team. Then I will be your strongest backing. It was late at night. Xiao Han and Shui Binger had fallen asleep. Lin Zhiro was guarding the cave entrance. Suddenly, a low and piercing howl broke the tranquility of the night. Chapter 7 400 Years. The sudden sound made Xiao Han open his eyes suddenly, and Shui Binger beside him also woke up. The two of them looked at Lin Zhiro almost at the same time. Lin Zhiro had quietly blocked in front of the two of them. Her eyes were as sharp as an eagle, and her whole body exuded a faint soul power fluctuation. It was obvious that she was ready for battle. The soul beast is coming. I am here. Don't be afraid. Outside the cave, the low roar and the sound of claws digging snow were getting closer and closer. Obviously, it was not a soul beast, but a group. Xiao Han's heartbeat accelerated. He had traveled to this world for 6 years, and he had never seen a real soul beast. Lin Zhiro said. It is a snow-covered frozen beast. There are quite a few of them. They usually don't act alone. The wind outside the cave was howling, mixed with the howling of the frozen beasts, which made it look more and more eerie and terrifying. The snowy frozen beast, as one of the social predators in the frozen forest, is fast and powerful, with deceleration and freezing skills, and is an existence that many soul masters are unwilling to provoke. Xiao Han, Binger, you two just stay here and don't move. Lin Zhiro released her ice bird martial soul while speaking. Although the ice bird is small in size, its icy power is extremely overbearing, and its flying speed is extremely fast, comparable to teleportation. As the third soul ring quietly lit up, circles of ice blue light condensed around Lin Zhiro, as if to freeze the surrounding air. In the blink of an eye, the group of snowy frozen beasts arrived in front of the cave. There were more than a dozen of them, and one of them was the largest, which was particularly conspicuous among the group of beasts. At first glance, it was their leader. The leader beast's eyes flashed fierce red in the night. Its whole body is full of muscles, and every inch reveals strength and majesty that cannot be underestimated. Its hair flutters gently in the cold wind, and it is silvery white with a hint of ice blue. It looks both beautiful and dangerous. The leading beast stood at the front of the herd and did not immediately launch an attack. Instead, it looked at Lin Zhiro and the others in a superior manner, as if assessing the opponent's strength. Lin Zhiro deliberately restrained her soul power and raised the corners of her mouth slightly. She felt that the leader's cultivation level was about 3,000 years, while the other snow-covered ice beasts only had a few hundred years cultivation level. Facing such a herd of beasts, there is no pressure. Seeing Xiao Han and Shui Binger, those snowy frozen beasts all bared their fangs, like a silent provocation and contempt for the weak. With the release of their soul power, the surrounding temperature dropped, the air suddenly condensed into frost, and the snow on the ground also instantly condensed into ice. Lin Zhiro smiled slightly. Xiao Han, Binger, you two have your first soul ring. Mom, Binger and I are both 400 years old. New. Roared Tilda. Following the low and long howl of the leading beast, the surrounding beasts seemed to have received some kind of instruction, and they all roared in response, and then pounced towards the three of them. Don't overestimate your own capabilities. With the sudden flash of the fifth soul ring, Lin Zhiro directly released the fifth soul skill, Ice Pick Stab. This is a 10,000-year soul skill. For an instant, the space around Lin Zhiro seemed to be frozen by ice. Then, countless sharp ice cones shot out of the air, like dense arrow rain, piercing the night sky and pointing directly at the snow-covered ice beasts that were swooping towards them. Wherever the ice pick passed, the air seemed to be cut with cold cracks. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. The ice picks pierced the defense line of the beasts at an alarming speed. Even the leading beast was scratched by several ice picks before it could avoid it, and howled in pain. The beasts were suddenly in disarray. Some were directly penetrated through their bodies and fell to the ground twitching. Others were forced to change directions due to the sudden attack and lost their original offensive. Only then did the leading beast realize that the human soul master in front of him was not a simple person, and with a low roar, he ordered his companions to evacuate. Ice. A huge force of ice surged out of Lin Zhurio's body, instantly freezing all the space within 100 meters around her. Those frozen beasts in the snow that had not completely escaped were trapped by the sudden force of ice, unable to move and could only howl in despair. Xiaohan and Shui Binger stood in the cave and were shocked when they witnessed all this. This was the first time they had seen Lin Zhurio's strength. "Mom, you are amazing." Xiaohan couldn't help shouting, his eyes flashing with excitement and admiration. Lin Zhurio looked at the frozen beasts in the snow and asked, "Xiaohan, Binger, are you both ready?" "Ready." Xiaohan and Shui Binger nodded at the same time, their eyes firm. Taking the life of a soul beast with your own hands is a step they must go through on their growth path. Xiaohan, go kill the one on the left. Binger, go kill the one on the right. Good. The two snowy frozen beasts were both hit by ice picks, and were frozen in the ice with only their heads exposed, and they were dying. Xiaohan took out the sharp dagger from the soul guide, and walked towards the two snowy frozen beasts with Shui Binger. The first time he came into contact with a soul beast at such a close distance, Xiaohan's heartbeat quickened, but he still drew out his dagger without hesitation, and pierced the throat of the snowy frozen beast with one sword. The snow-covered ice beast struggled for a few times, then became motionless. On the other side, Shui Binger also ended the life of the snowy frozen beast. "Today, I'll let you go." Lin Zhurio waved her hand gently and lifted the ice seal. The trapped snow-covered ice beasts ran away like wild horses and disappeared from the sight of several people in an instant. Xiaohan, Binger, please remember. Although it is a natural law for soul masters to hunt soul beasts to obtain soul rings, they cannot kill innocent people indiscriminately. We only need to get what we want. Yeah, I understand. A cloud of yellow mist slowly rose from the corpse of the frozen beast in the snow, and gradually condensed into a soul ring that released a faint yellow light. Binger, you should absorb the soul ring first, adjust your condition, and use your mind to introduce the energy of the soul ring into your body. Good. Shui Binger walked under the yellow soul ring, sat cross-legged, and after adjusting her condition, began to absorb it. Xiaohan couldn't wait. "Mom, I'm going to absorb the soul ring too." Both these two snowy and frozen beasts have about 400 years of cultivation. I'm a little worried about whether you can bear it with your current conditions. Don't worry, I'm sure I can do it. Xiaohan has enough confidence in himself. Okay, then go ahead. Take your time, don't rush. Xiaohan also walked over, adjusted his condition, and began to absorb the soul ring. He closed his eyes and concentrated on guiding the energy of the soul ring. This energy was raging inside his body like a violent storm, as if countless ice blades were shuttling through his meridians, bringing bursts of stinging pain and chills. Xiaohan gritted his teeth and tried hard to maintain the balance of his body. According to the method taught by Lin Zhurio, he used his soul power as a guide to slowly introduce this external energy into his body. Chapter 8 Frost Shot. Lin Zhurio quietly watched Xiaohan and Shui Binger absorb the soul rings, feeling both nervous and expectant. The two of them were experiencing the impact of the soul ring energy, and beads of sweat continued to appear on their foreheads. This is the first soul ring they have absorbed, but it is only 400 years old, so it is somewhat risky. However, Lin Zhurio still chose to believe in these two children. She believed that Shui Binger, who possessed the top-level beast martial soul ice phoenix, could do it, and believed that the powerful power left by Xiaohan's parents would protect him secretly. As time went by, Xiaohan felt that the originally violent energy in his body began to become docile, slowly integrating into every cell and every meridian in his body. This process is both painful and wonderful, as if his body is undergoing some kind of transformation at this moment, becoming tougher and stronger. Suddenly, Xiaohan felt a warm force rising from his dantian. That was his own soul power. In the process of merging with external energy, not only was it not suppressed, but it was stimulated with stronger vitality. The two forces intertwined with each other, and finally formed a new balance in his body, a unique power that only belonged to him. It's done. When the last trace of energy was completely absorbed, Xiaohan suddenly opened his eyes. The sky was getting brighter, and everything in front of me became clearer. Xiaohan felt that his soul power had improved significantly, as if he had crossed a realm overnight. On the other side, Shui Binger also successfully absorbed the soul ring. Lin Zhiro stood aside, watching the two children complete the absorption of their respective soul rings, feeling full of joy in her heart. You two have finally absorbed the soul rings. Mom, you didn't sleep all night last night, thank you for your hard work. Dean Lin, thank you for your hard work. Lin Zhiro was very happy and smiled. I'm fine. How do you two feel? How much has your soul power increased? Xiaohan and Shui Binger looked at each other and smiled, and then said. With my first soul ring, I feel like I am a true soul master. My soul power has increased by 2 levels. Binger, how about you? I've also upgraded 2 levels. Great, you are both at level 12 now. Mom, let me tell you, the bigger the storm, the more expensive the fish. If you absorb a soul ring that is 1 or 200 years old, you may only be able to increase your soul power by 1 level. Lin Zhiro poked Xiaohan's head with a doting look on her face. You brat, you know how to get it. What soul skills have you obtained? Xiaohan chuckled and released his martial soul and soul ring. Mom, my first soul skill has the effect of slowing down and increasing one's own attack. I call it, Frost Shot. After Xiaohan finished speaking, he fully drew his bow and shot an arrow straight ahead. The ultimate ice arrow was wrapped in a layer of icy blue, leaving a layer of mist-like frost wherever it passed. Xiaohan explained. When I use this soul skill, the opponent within my attack range will be slowed down by 20% to 50%, depending on the opponent's soul power. In addition, my attack will have a deceleration effect on the opponent. The opponent deals an additional 120% damage, with a freezing effect. How awesome! Shui Binger clapped her little hands and praised. Lin Zhiro smiled. You brat, this soul skill is pretty good. Binger, what soul skill have you obtained? Dean Lin, my first soul skill is similar to the freezing soul skill you used before. It is a group limiting skill. I also call it, freezing. After Shui Binger finished speaking, she released her Ice Phoenix Spirit and Spirit Ring, and showed them in front of the two of them. The moment the freezing soul skill was activated, the entire 50-meter area centered on her was frozen by a layer of hard ice. This is a soul skill with strong control ability, which can instantly limit the opponent's actions and create a favorable combat environment for yourself and your teammates. Once the opponent is mentally locked, it will be difficult to escape, and a large amount of soul power will be consumed to resist the invasion of the cold air. Binger's soul skill is pretty good, and it's very helpful for team combat. Lin Zhiro looked around. It's almost dawn, we should go back. Eat something, tidy up, and then let's go. Dean Lin, you haven't slept all night, don't you need to take a rest? No, I'm fine. The three of them added some nutrition, packed their things and set off. On the way back, the three of them were very relaxed. Xiaohan collected some medicinal herbs that only appear in extremely cold areas. The three of them walked out of the frozen forest. Binger, Xiaohan, this trip to the far north went well. You both obtained your first soul ring, and your strength has improved further. You should practice hard after you return and strive to obtain your second soul ring as soon as possible. Well, we will work hard. Xiaohan suddenly said. Mom, before we return to Tianshui City, can we go to Sunset Forest? After hearing this, Lin Zhiro frowned, a little confused. Sunset Forest? What are you doing there? I want to collect some herbs. Those herbs will only grow in warm environments. Lin Zhiro was dubious about Xiaohan's words. Xiaohan, you are now a soul master. You should spend more time practicing and don't spend too much energy on medical research. Mom, I am a soul master, but if you prepare some herbs properly, they will be useful. Xiao Han was not sure whether Douluo had discovered the existence of the ice and fire eyes during this time. If Douluo is already there, he will definitely set up a green-scaled snake venom array. When he sees the poisonous array, he will immediately have to withdraw. If Douluo hadn't discovered it yet, he could have taken the initiative and picked all the fairy grass there, and maybe he could also get the ice and fire dragon king bones at the bottom of the spring. Immortal grass is of great help to the cultivation of soul masters. The improvement in strength that the god-level ice and fire dragon king bones bring to soul masters is even more immeasurable. The plants in this world are very different from those in the original world. Xiao Han started studying the Herb Atlas very early, but has not yet seen the Herb Atlas. Not many people in this world know much about jelly grass. Even Douluo, who has studied medicinal herbs for many years, doesn't know much about jelly grass. Xiao Han was able to identify the best immortal grasses such as star anise ice grass, fiery apricot jiaoshu, and acacia broken heart read through the descriptions in the original work. As for those ordinary fairy grasses, he didn't understand them either. If you want to truly understand them, you also need a Atlas of Immortal Grass. This book seems to be available only in Wuhun Palace. According to the development of the original timeline, there are still 9 years left before Tang San enters the Eye of Ice and Fire. Xiao Han thought that before doing this, he must first take away the top-quality fairy grass there to prevent Tang San from gaining immunity to ice and fire. Lin Zhuo thought for a moment and finally agreed with Xiao Han's idea. Xiao Han, let's go back quickly, don't delay for too long. Yeah, I understand. Lin Zhuo glared at Xiao Han, feeling that the child was getting older and his thoughts were getting weirder and weirder. Chapter 9 Douluo, you are awesome. The three of them took a carriage to the Sunset Forest and arrived at their destination more than half a month later. Under the leadership of Lin Zhuo, Xiao Han and Shui Binger entered the Sunset Forest. This place is about 200 miles east of Tiando City, with a spring-like climate all year round. The sun shines through the dense canopy of trees, casting dappled light and shadow, giving this vast forest a golden coat. The air is filled with the faint fragrance of flowers and earth, occasionally mixed with the roar of unknown beasts, adding a bit of mystery and wildness. Xiao Han, if you are looking for any medicinal herbs, look for them quickly. Once we find them, we will leave. Okay, there's nothing on the outside. Let's look towards the center of the forest. I really can't do anything with you. I won't bring you here next time. Although there are many soul beasts in the Sunset Forest, not many have cultivation levels of more than 10,000 years. Lin Zhuo has the strength of the Soul Saint level and extremely fast flying speed. Even if she takes her 2 children to the center of the forest, she is not worried. The three of them traveled through the forest and encountered many spirit beasts along the way. Lin Zhuo's powerful aura made those millennium-level soul beasts dare not approach easily. Several soul beasts that tried to get closer were driven away by her. Xiao Han, have you picked the herbs? Mom, don't rush me. I don't know when I'll come here next time. Let me pick a few more plants. Xiao Han picked a few herbs and carefully put them into the soul guide. Those medicinal herbs do have some effects, but compared with the grass jelly, they are nothing worth mentioning. The three of them were getting closer and closer to the center of the forest, and they also felt the change in temperature. Xiao Han, it seems to be getting hotter and hotter. Let's call it a day. It's time for us to go back. Mom, can you go a little further? There may be surprises ahead. Xiao Han had a strong premonition that this place was not far from the Ice and Fire Eye. Seeing that Lin Zhuo was a little angry, Shui Binger said. Dean Lin, we are all here. Let's go forward with Xiao Han. Okay, I'll listen to you. Xiao Han and Shui Binger smiled at each other and gave her a grateful look. The three of them continued walking towards the center of the forest. As I was walking, suddenly a pungent smell came from the front. Xiao Han, don't go any further. Lin Zhuo grabbed Xiao Han with one hand and Shui Binger with the other, and instantly retreated 100 meters away. That strange smell just now seemed to be poison. Xiao Han also smelled the strange smell, and a bad premonition suddenly arose in his heart. Could it be the green-scaled snake venom array deployed by Douluo? Has the ice and fire eyes been discovered by him? Lin Zhuro frowned, seeming to realize something, and suddenly became nervous. Xiaohan, Binger, it's dangerous here, let's go. Just as they were about to leave, an invisible force instantly enveloped the three of them. Even if Lin Zhuro wanted to resist, she couldn't move an inch. A green figure slowly walked out from the depths of the jungle like a ghost. Every step he took seemed to follow an invisible beat, and the surrounding air was slightly distorted by the soul power surging in his body. A cold light flashed in those deep eyes. Who are you? How dare you trespass on my territory? The man's voice was low and hoarse, with unquestionable majesty. Although Xiao Han couldn't see that face clearly, he knew he was Douluo I. Unexpectedly, he discovered the ice and fire eyes so early. Lin Zhuro's face was solemn, and she recognized that the person was poisoned Douluo I. She knew very well that Douluo I's strength was unfathomable, and his green-scaled snake emperor poison was unparalleled in the world. If he was not careful, he would be doomed. Lin Zhuro forced herself to remain calm and tried to resolve this potential crisis with words. Senior Douluo, I am Lin Zhuro, the vice president of Tianshui College. We have no intention of offending, we just entered this place by mistake. We hope you can forgive me. Tianshui College. Douluo glanced at Lin Zhuro coldly, felt the cold breath on her body, and knew that she was not lying. Many years ago, Douluo met Tianshui Academy Zhao, the president of the hospital, but they are not familiar with each other. What are you doing here? Let's find the soul beast. Before Lin Zhuro could answer, Xiaohan answered first. He knew that Douluo was very suspicious. If Douluo knew that they were here to find medicinal herbs at this time, the consequences would be disastrous. Yes, let's find the soul beast. Lin Zhuro knew that Xiaohan had always been smart, and there must be a reason for what he said, so she should agree with him. Douluo glanced at Xiaohan and expected that he would not dare to lie. How did he know that this 6-year-old boy was coveting his medicine garden? In front of me is the poisonous formation I have set up. Even soul beasts with 10,000 years of cultivation dare not approach easily. Once these two children step into the poisonous formation, they will definitely die. This is not the place you should be, so leave quickly. Thanks for the reminder, senior, we will leave now. As soon as Lin Zhuro finished speaking, Douluo disappeared. His speed was too fast. Xiaohan, Binger, let's go. Lin Zhuro took Xiaohan and Shui Binger and flew directly out of the sunset forest. After the three people landed, they were in shock. Shui Binger asked. Dean Lin, who was that old man just now? He is poisoned Douluo. It turns out he is a titled Douluo, no wonder he is so powerful. Douluo has a withdrawn personality, likes to be alone, and is the most poisonous in the world. I heard that his methods are vicious, so he has made many enemies. Thinking of the scene just now, Xiaohan felt lingering fear and felt a little guilty. Mom, I'm sorry, I brought you into danger. Xiaohan, you don't have to blame yourself, this is just an accident. We have no grievances with Douluo. Dean Zhao took me to see him before. Even if he doesn't remember me, he won't embarrass us if he knows that we are from Tianshui College. Quote. Xiaohan felt better now. However, this experience further aroused his desire to pick jelly grass. By the way, Xiaohan, why did you just say that we are here to find the soul beast? Mom, don't you think it's strange? Douluo has set up a poisonous array in the center of the forest, as if he is deliberately guarding something. No one or soul beast can get close to the poisonous array. I guess there may be something extremely precious in it, maybe it's exotic flowers and herbs. If he learns that we are here to collect medicinal herbs, he might become murderous. After listening to Xiaohan's explanation, Lin Zhuro thought about it carefully and became extremely frightened. Xiaohan, you are so considerate at such a young age. You can't take any more risks if you use your intelligence in cultivation. Well, I understand. A few days later, the three returned to Tianshui College. Lin Zhuro told Dean Zhao all the experiences the three of them had in the frozen forest and the sunset forest. After hearing this, Dean Zhao felt lucky. I didn't expect you to meet Douluo. Fortunately, it was just a false alarm. Xiaohan and Binger are the hope for the future of our Tianshui College. In the Soul Master competition 10 years later, they will definitely stand out and shine. Chapter 10 Whale Gum replenishes the body. As time passed, Xiaohan gradually adapted to practice and could better control the ice element. Among this freshman, his strength is far ahead of the others. But as a time traveler, this is not enough. Xiaohan knew that in addition to fairy grass, he could also use other things to improve his overall strength. For example, using whale glue to improve one's physical fitness can achieve the purpose of absorbing a higher life soul ring. Inland, it may be difficult to buy whale glue, most of which are in the hands of nobles, but you may be able to buy it in Hanhai City, the westernmost part of the Tiando Empire. Because it is close to the waters of Poseidon Island, there are many whale-like soul beasts in the waters. On this day, Xiaohan came to see Lin Jiro. Mom, my soul power has increased by another level. It is now level 13. Really? It seems that you have been practicing hard during this period. Of course. Lin Jiro smiled slightly. You brat, you came to me not just to tell me this, right? Tell me, what do you want to do? Mom, you know me best. I want to buy something, but it is very expensive and difficult to buy. Can you help me? When I make money in the future, I will definitely pay you back. After hearing this, Lin Jiro glanced at Xiaohan disapprovingly. You silly boy, doesn't my money belong to you? What do you want to buy? Whale gum. Whale glue. What is that? It is a special substance produced in the brains of cetacean soul beasts and has high medicinal value. It is not common in the inland areas and may not be available for purchase. It may be available in large stores and auction houses in Hanhai City. After hearing this, Lin Jiro looked at Xiaohan seriously. As Xiaohan's adoptive mother, she has always loved Xiaohan very much. From childhood to adulthood, she would try her best to satisfy Xiaohan's wishes. In the past 3 or 4 months, Xiaohan has really been practicing hard and performed very well in the academy. Hanhai City is too far away. I don't have time to go there, let alone take you there. However, I can ask someone to go there. Thank you, Mom. By the way, you said it's expensive. How much does it cost? Xiaohan smiled and stretched out 5 fingers. About this much. 500 gold soul coins. Xiaohan shook his head. 5,000. Xiaohan still shook his head. Lin Jurio's eyes suddenly widened. Could it be 50,000? About the same. I don't know exactly how much it will cost. Lin Jurio's face changed. Stinky boy, 50,000 gold soul coins are too much, right? What medicinal value does it have to cost so much money? Mom, it's a tonic herb that can strengthen the body and enhance the endurance of muscles, bones and meridians. It's very useful to me. So, you want to buy it for yourself? Yes. Xiaohan nodded seriously. 50,000 gold coins is not a small amount, but if this money is spent on Xiaohan, Lin Jiro is willing to spend it. Xiaohan is still young and is growing up. If there is a way to strengthen his physique, Lin Jiro is willing to do it. After all, having a strong physique is also very important for a soul master. Xiaohan, your thoughts are getting weirder and weirder. I will ask someone to go to Hanhai City to have a look. If there is really the whale glue you said, I will ask her to bring some back. Thank you, Mom. However, this matter must be kept secret. Apart from you and me, no one else can know about it, or it will be a mess. You are so weird, I don't know what's in your head. Mom, please promise me first. Okay, I know. At this stage, no one may know that you can improve your physical fitness by taking whale glue. So, Xiaohan wants to keep it secret. 4 months passed in a flash. After 4 months of practice, Xiaohan's soul power increased by 1 level and reached level 14. That day, Lin Jiro called Xiaohan to the office. Mom, you are looking for me. Xiaohan vaguely felt that something good was going to happen. Lin Jiro took out a black box from the drawer and handed it to Xiaohan. Xiaohan, open it and take a look. Mom, this is not whale glue, right? Lin Jiro smiled and did not answer. Xiao Han could not wait to open the box, and a golden light instantly came into his eyes. The box contained a golden, transparent, palm-sized object like a golden crystal. This was a piece of high-quality thousand-year-old whale glue. Xiao Han, is this what you want? Yes, this is thousand-year-old whale glue. Mom, how much did it cost to buy this? It's not as expensive as you think, but it also cost 20,000 gold soul coins. Mom, I'm sorry to have cost you money. I will definitely prove to you that it's worth it. Lin Zhuro smiled indifferently. This whale glue looks as hard as a gem. How do you eat it? I have my own way. You can use a high-temperature flame to soften it, and then cut it into pieces and eat it in batches. You know a lot. Xiao Han has shown extraordinary talent since he was a child. He is a little genius praised by everyone. Lin Zhuro has long been accustomed to his strange behaviors. After leaving Lin Zhuro's office, Xiao Han came to the cafeteria and softened the thousand-year-old whale glue with the help of high-temperature flames. Whale glue is a very young thing. In addition to strengthening the body, it also has a certain aphrodisiac and aphrodisiac effect. Xiao Han is still young now. He is worried that his body will not be able to bear eating such a large piece of whale glue at once, so he cut the softened whale glue into 6 pieces and planned to take one piece every once in a while until it is all eaten. He ate a piece on the spot. Not long after, the whale glue began to be absorbed by him and took effect in his body. Walking on the road, Xiao Han felt hot all over, his heartbeat accelerated, and his breathing was rapid. It seemed that an invisible force was running rampant in his body. Xiao Han, what's wrong with you? Your face and neck are red. Are you sick? Shui Yue, who was walking towards him, was startled when she saw Xiao Han's appearance. It seems so. I feel a little uncomfortable. Please ask Teacher Shu for a leave for me. I need to go back and rest for a while. Okay, you should go back and rest soon. Yes. Xiao Han returned to the dormitory, sat cross-legged, practiced qigong and regulated his breathing, trying to suppress the masculine energy in his body. It took 2 hours for his breathing and heartbeat to gradually stabilize. When he opened his eyes again, everything in front of him seemed to become clearer. Xiao Han felt that his body was stronger. This thing has a strong aftereffect. Fortunately, I only ate a small piece of it. It seems that I have to take it easy. Quote. Tilde 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 tilde. Time flies. 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. In 2 months, Xiao Han will be 9 years old. He has eaten all the high-quality thousand-year-old whale glue and absorbed it completely. Among his peers, Xiao Han's physique is undoubtedly the best. That day, Xiao Han, who was practicing, suddenly opened his eyes. I finally broke through the level 20 barrier. I can go hunt soul beasts and get the second soul ring. Chapter 11 The Second Ring of the Thousand Years. Xiao Han told Lin Zhuro that he had broken through the level 20, and then came to Shui Binger. Shui Binger has always regarded Xiao Han as her biggest competitor, but every time she improves her soul power by 1 level, she is a little later than Xiao Han. At this time, Shui Binger is stuck at the level 20 barrier, only 1 step away from breaking through. Shui Binger is very happy to see Xiao Han. Xiao Han, why are you here? You are not here to tell me that you have broken through the level 20, right? Yes, that's what I wanted to tell you. Hate it. You got there first again. Shui Binger pouted, somewhat unconvinced. Xiao Han smiled and said, how's it going? Are you about to break through? Well, within a month, I will definitely catch up with you. That's just right. We can go to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts together again. You can also practice on the way. When you get there, you might be able to break through. Okay, let's go together. The next day, the 3 of them took a carriage to the far north. Along the way, besides eating and sleeping, Shui Binger has been practicing. Half a month later, the 3 of them arrived in the frozen forest. After nearly 3 years, Xiao Han and Shui Binger had different feelings when they came here again. They have become stronger and more mature. While walking, Xiao Han suddenly said, Mom, my second soul ring needs to be at the 1000-year level. Lin Zhuro frowned, thinking she heard wrong. 1000-year soul ring. You are fooling around again. Mom, I'm serious. After Xiao Han finished speaking, he turned to look at Shui Binger and said with a smile. Binger, do you think I can absorb 1,000-year soul ring? Maybe. Whatever you do now, I won't find it strange. Shui Binger also felt that Xiao Han was a bit nagging, but she still chose to believe him. You brat, the second ring absorbs 1,000 years of energy. Aren't you afraid that your body will be exploded by the energy of the soul ring? Xiao Han said calmly. Mom, don't forget, I am a person who has eaten whale glue for thousands of years. Does whale glue have such magical effects? Of course. Look at my current physique, how strong it is. Does it look like an 8 or 9-year-old child? TCH. You just have to be quiet. Lin Zhuro gave Xiao Han a look of disdain. Listening to their conversation, Shui Binger was confused. Dean Lin, Xiao Han, what is the whale gum you are talking about? It's an extremely precious medicinal material. It's used to strengthen the body, but it's a little bit strong. Xiao Han, if it's not convenient for you to say it, forget it. Well, if I have a chance in the future, I'll get some whale brains for you to replenish. Xiao Han knew that there were many 100,000-year-old sea soul beasts in the sea area of Poseidon Island, and he might go there to obtain soul rings in the future. After all, it was too difficult to hunt 100,000-year-old soul beasts in the frozen forest. Soul beasts with 1,000-year cultivation rarely appeared on the outskirts of the forest, so the three of them continued to move towards the center of the forest. After searching for several days, although I encountered many soul beasts, there was no suitable one. Some soul beasts are too young, less than 1,000 years. Some of them exceed too much, reaching more than 2,000 years. Lin Zhuro would not risk Xiao Han's life. The most she could do was let him absorb a soul ring that had just reached 1,000 years old. It was getting late, the light in the forest was getting thinner, and the cold air could almost penetrate the bone marrow. Xiao Han, Lin Zhuro and Shui Binger were walking when they were suddenly attracted by a spirit beast. The soul beast lay quietly under a big tree wrapped in frost, as if it was integrated with the cold world. It is about 2 meters long, with a round and strong body, and its whole body is covered with a layer of crystal-clear ice armor that shines with a faint blue light. That layer of ice armor looked very hard, covered with fine ice spikes that looked like snowflake crystals. Those sharp ice spikes reflect dazzling light in the sun. Mom, is this an ice-armored thorn beast? The information in the Tianshui College Library contains introductions to various cold and water attribute soul beasts, and Xiao Han also learned a little about them. The ice-armored spiny beast is a type of hedgehog soul beast, integrating offense and defense. Its hard ice armor can be used for defense, and its ice spikes can be used for attack. If you want to hunt the ice-armored thorn beast, you must first break its defense. Lin Zhurio's eyes flashed with excitement. The cultivation level of an early 1,000 years is in line with their criteria for finding the second soul ring for Xiao Han. Xiao Han, we have been searching hard for several days and finally found a suitable soul beast. This soul beast's cultivation level has just reached 1,000 years. That's great. Xiao Han looked at the ice-armored thorn beast and smiled. Little hedgehog, it's you. The ice-armored thorn beast felt the aura of the human soul master, and immediately entered a defensive state, curling up, and the ice spikes all over its body suddenly stood up, like a thorn ball. Lin Zhuro quickly released her martial soul and soul ring, preparing to fight. This time, Xiao Han and Shui Binger did not sit idly by and released their respective martial souls and first soul rings. Although they only have one soul skill, their attack methods are not limited to soul ring skills. Attacking soul beasts that are more powerful than themselves is also a kind of exercise for them. The three of them quickly launched an offensive. Lin Zhurio's figure shuttled lightly through the forest, constantly releasing the power of the ice element, forming ice walls and ice cones to restrain the ice-armored thorn beast. Although her attack did not directly target the critical points of the ice-armored stinging beast, it effectively limited its movement range, creating opportunities for Xiao Han and Shui Binger to attack. Xiao Han and Shui Binger cooperated tacitly and approached the ice-armored thorn beast from both sides. Blue arrows shot out from Xiao Han's Junbing bow. Although Xiao Han's first soul skill, Frost shot, is not powerful enough to penetrate the ice armor's defense. Every shot accurately lands on the ice armor, trying to find the weak point of its defense. Shui Binger also continued to release ice blade attacks. However, as a 1,000-year-old soul beast, the ice-armored thorn beast is so easy to deal with. It suddenly became furious, and the ice spikes on the ice armor around it were like a rainstorm. It poured out, with biting coldness and sharp edges, and attacked the two of them. Upon seeing this, Lin Zhuro immediately increased the output of the ice element, instantly forming a thick ice shield to protect the two of them. After the ice-armored stinging beast launches the ice sting attack, it wants to escape while the opponent launches defense. But Lin Zhuro would not give it a chance to escape. I won't play with you anymore. Ice. With the activation of Lin Zhuro's freezing skill, the entire space seemed to be frozen, and even the air solidified. The movements of the ice-armored stinging beast instantly became sluggish, and its originally indestructible ice armor actually had tiny cracks under the force of the extreme cold. Ice slash. A more powerful ice force surged out from Lin Zhuro's palm, turned into a huge ice blade, and directly hit the back of the ice-armored thorn beast. With a crisp crackling sound, the ice-armored stinging beast's defense was completely broken. Upon seeing this, Xiaohan immediately took action, fully drawing the bow, and condensed the ice-blue arrows, which accurately shot at the back of the ice-armored thorn beast. With a dull roar, the huge body of the ice-armored thorn beast fell to the ground. Chapter 12. Thousands of arrows fired together. A group of purple mist slowly rose from the body of the ice-armored thorn beast, gradually condensing into a halo that released a light purple light. Looking at the 1,000-year soul ring, Xiaohan was a little excited. But Lin Zhuro was still a little worried. This will be the second soul ring that Xiaohan has absorbed. Its age has exceeded the limit that ordinary soul masters can bear. Xiaohan, have you decided to absorb this soul ring? Of course. Mom, don't worry, I can bear it. Xiaohan is full of confidence. It took him half a year to eat all the high-quality 1,000-year-old whale glue, and his body gradually became tougher. This is enough to prove that eating whale glue is useful. Xiaohan knew that the limit that an ordinary soul master could withstand the second soul ring was more than 700 years. The 1,000-year soul ring in front of me is only more than 200 years old. He is confident that he can absorb it. Seeing that Xiaohan had made up his mind, Lin Zhuro said nothing more and just stood aside quietly to protect Xiaohan. Xiaohan sat under the purple soul ring, preparing to adjust his condition to the best first, and then absorb it. Shui Binger sat cross-legged on the snow to practice, taking the opportunity to recover. In the battle just now, she also consumed a lot of soul power. But it also stimulated her potential and broke through the 20-level mark, which meant that she could also obtain her second soul ring. After adjusting his condition, Xiaohan began to absorb the 1,000-year soul ring. The surging energy in the soul ring slowly flowed into Xiaohan's body. This energy was much more domineering than when he first absorbed the soul ring. It was like a rushing river with a powerful momentum, trying to break down the defenses in his body. There were beads of sweat on Xiaohan's forehead, but he closed his eyes tightly and gritted his teeth. Every cell in his body seemed to be activated, and started a fierce confrontation and integration with the external energy. As time went by, the extremely cold power began to become docile, guided by Xiaohan, flowing slowly along the meridians in his body, and integrating with the original soul power. Xiaohan's breathing gradually became even and his expression calmed down. During this period, Shui Binger has returned to her best condition. Dean Lin, Xiaohan is so powerful, he has already conquered that energy. Yeah, this brat is so willful. Fortunately, he survived. Lin Zhuro felt relieved. Dean Lin, I have also exceeded level 20. Really? That's great. Once Xiaohan finishes absorbing this soul ring, we will find a suitable soul beast for you to help you obtain the second soul ring. The two looked at each other and smiled, waiting for Xiaohan to wake up from the soul ring he absorbed. Time passes minute by minute. When the last trace of energy was completely absorbed, Xiaohan slowly opened his eyes. Absorbing this 1,000-year soul ring took longer than the last time, taking a full 4 hours. By this time, it was already dark. Even though the light was dim, Xiaohan felt that he could see farther and clearer than before. Obviously, after absorbing this thousand-year soul ring, his mental power has also improved a lot, and his perception has become stronger. Xiaohan, you have finally absorbed the soul ring. Well, Mom, I succeeded. Xiaohan stood up, feeling the surging power in his body, and a confident smile appeared on his lips. He looked at Lin Zhuro, who had been by his side, with gratitude in his eyes. Without the support and trust of his adoptive mother, he would never have been able to absorb this thousand-year soul ring. Lin Zhuro nodded happily, her eyes slightly moist. Yes, my money was not wasted. Shui Binger felt the powerful aura emanating from Xiaohan, and a trace of surprise and envy flashed in her eyes. She knew that she had to work harder to catch up with this partner who was always ahead. Xiaohan, congratulations, you have a thousand-year soul ring. Hee, don't envy me, you will soon have your own second soul ring. That's right, Binger has already exceeded level 20. Great. After dawn, we can find a suitable soul beast for Binger. Shui Binger smiled and nodded, then asked. Xiaohan, how many levels has your soul power increased? There are more than 2 levels, almost like level 3. Shui Binger was stunned for a moment and joked. I'm afraid it will be harder for me to catch up with you in the future. It's still early. Maybe you will catch up after you absorb the soul ring. Then what is your second soul skill? Similar to the ice thorn attack of the ice-armored stinging beast, I call it, thousands of arrows fired at once. After Xiaohan finished speaking, he released his martial soul and soul ring. Following the sudden flash of the second purple ring, the second soul skill was launched with thousands of arrows fired. In an instant, countless ice-blue arrows shot out from the Junbing bow, piercing the target like a meteor shower. Xiaohan explained. This soul skill of mine can be used as a group attack skill, or it can be controlled according to my will. Thousands of arrows can be unified to focus on the target. How awesome! Shui Binger praised from the bottom of her heart. Lin Zhuro also nodded with satisfaction. This soul skill is not bad. Okay, it's getting late. You two can rest. I'll keep watch. Mom, you and Binger go to rest, I'll keep watch. Lin Zhuro knew that Xiaohan felt sorry for her. Although she felt relieved, she was still a little worried. This is no longer the outskirts. It's a bit dangerous, so let me come. No. You go to rest and let me do it. I am now a great soul master with a strength close to the 23rd level, so I can still keep vigil. I will wake you up as soon as there is any movement. You brat has become more capable. Okay, let me give you a try. Don't worry, I can do it. After Xiaohan finished speaking, he helped set up the tent and leaned under the big tree just now. Afterwards, let Lin Zhuro and Shui Binger go into rest. Having just absorbed the thousand-year soul ring, Xiaohan was in good spirits. He sat by the tent and kept watch until it got light. Fortunately, there were no soul beasts to disturb me all night. Lin Zhuro walked out of the tent quietly and patted Xiaohan's shoulder gently. Xiaohan, you did a good job keeping vigil for the first time. It's almost dawn, go in and sleep for a while. Mom, I'm not tired. We are still looking for soul beasts today, so we need to be energetic. You go and rest for a while. I will call you in an hour. Oh well. Xiaohan walked into the tent gently. At this time, Shui Binger was sleeping soundly. Looking at that rosy little face, Xiaohan was afraid of waking her up, so he carefully lay down next to her, closed his eyes and fell asleep. The sky is gradually getting brighter. Shui Binger opened her eyes in a daze, and was surprised to find that the person next to her pillow was Xiaohan. Looking at the sleeping Xiaohan, a gentle smile appeared on Shui Binger's face. Unconsciously, I have known Xiaohan for 3 years. This little boy, who originally seemed very immature, gradually became responsible and became a trustworthy and reliable partner. Chapter 13 Tacit Cooperation. Xiaohan suddenly woke up from his sleep and found that Shui Binger was no longer around, so he got up and walked out of the tent. Binger, you're already awake. Mom, why didn't you call me? Lin Zhuro and Shui Binger were eating nearby. I saw that you were sleeping deeply, so I didn't call you. Come here and have something to eat. After eating, we will help Binger find a suitable soul beast. Good. Shui Binger asked with a smile. You had your first vigil last night. How did it feel? Very good. When you go out to hunt soul beasts from now on, leave the night watch to me. That won't work. After I get the second soul ring, I will help you share the burden. No need. I am a man, so I should take more responsibility. Lin Jiro on the side smiled and joked. The brat has grown up and become more sensible. In another 10 or 8 years, I will be able to enjoy a happy life. After eating and packing up, the three of them set off. 2 days later, the three of them entered a valley. It's extremely cold here, and it's surrounded by ice. Just as the three of them were carefully walking between the ice walls, a low and powerful sound of ice cracking broke the silence around them. Following the sound, I saw a huge figure slowly protruding from behind a huge ice rock not far away. Sensing the existence of that soul beast, Lin Jiro was pleasantly surprised. It's an ice crystal pangolin with 600 to 700 years of cultivation. It's just right for Binger's second soul ring. After Lin Jiro finished speaking, she rushed over quickly. Xiaohan and Shui Binger followed closely behind. This ice crystal pangolin has a body length of 3 meters, and its entire body is covered with crystal clear blue ice armor. Each piece of armor is not only extremely hard, but also has a faint hint of cold air. Its eyes looked particularly bright against the ice armor, shining with a fierce light. Those thick and powerful limbs made the ice crackle with every step. The most eye-catching thing is its drill-like tail, which is made of ice crystals and is extremely sharp. It is not only a tool for digging caves, but also a weapon for attacking enemies. The approach of the three people made the ice crystal pangolin feel threatened. It let out a low roar, and complex lines gradually appeared on the ice armor. Obviously, it is ready for battle. Xiao Han, Shui Binger and Lin Jiro looked at each other. Mom, let Binger and I deal with it. Okay, be careful. Although its cultivation level is only 600 or 700 years old, its attack and defense are no less than that of the 1,000-year-old ice-armored thorn beast. Yeah, I understand. For Xiao Han and Shui Binger, this is another good training opportunity. The two released at the same time they released their respective martial souls and soul rings. With the sudden flash of the first soul ring, Shui Binger took the lead in launching the freezing skill, and a layer of hard ice instantly froze the ice crystal pangolin. But the ice crystal pangolin has violent power and broke away from Shui Binger's ice in the blink of an eye. But Xiao Han's Bianshuang shots came one after another, and an ice blue arrow hit the ice crystal pangolin's neck hard. Xiao Han observed carefully that the back, head and tail of the ice crystal pangolin are extremely hard, and its abdomen is its weakest point. However, it has a huge body and will definitely protect its abdomen. It is quite difficult to use this as a breakthrough point. In addition, its neck is relatively weak. Xiao Han's frost shot was aimed at this point. The arrow just shot away several pieces of ice armor. The ice crystal pangolin was angry. It opened its huge mouth and pounced towards the weaker Shui Binger. Although it is huge in size, its speed is not weak at all. Shui Binger only has one soul ring, but she has superb fighting skills. Faced with the sudden attack of the ice crystal pangolin, she quickly survived with a slight jump. At the same time, an ice blade quickly swung out from her hand. The ice blade cut through the air, bringing up a biting cold wind, and accurately embedded itself between the hard neck scales of the ice crystal pangolin. Although it failed to directly penetrate its defense, it still caused it great pain. That place had already suffered a blow from Xiao Han. The roar of the ice crystal pangolin became even more violent. This sudden counterattack caused the ice crystal pangolin to lose its balance briefly, buying Xiao Han and Shui Binger precious time to counterattack. When Xiao Han saw this, his eyes turned sharp. He dodged and took advantage of the terrain to reach the side of the ice crystal pangolin, which was its blind spot for sight and protection. The soul power surged in Xiao Han's body, and his second soul skill, thousands of arrows, was launched instantly. Those ice arrows seemed to have been given life, turning into ice rain and shooting densely at the ice crystal pangolin's body. Although the ice crystal pangolin has amazing defense, it still has to resist with all its strength under such a dense attack of ice arrows. Its tail was spinning wildly, trying to crush these ice arrows with its sharp ice crystal drill bit. But every ice arrow contains extremely penetrating cold energy, which continuously weakens the ice crystal pangolin's defense. While the ice crystal pangolin was defending, Xiaohan once again launched his second soul skill. This time is different from the last time. With the control of his thoughts, countless ice blue arrows converged in the air, and they all pierced the ice crystal pangolin's neck. At the same time, Shui Binger was not idle either. She activated the freezing skill again, and the hard ice froze the entire back half of the ice crystal mountain, leaving only the head and neck, allowing Xiao Han's ice arrows to hit the target smoothly. With the tacit cooperation of the two, the ice crystal pangolin gradually became unable to do what it wanted. Its roar became more and more urgent, and the ice armor on its neck was completely shattered. Binger, it's up to you. Clear. Shui Binger jumped high and concentrated the remaining soul power in her right hand. An extremely sharp ice blade was instantly slashed out and landed accurately on the ice crystal pangolin's neck. Bang! A muffled sound. The huge body of the ice crystal pangolin fell to the ground, struggled a few times, and then became motionless. Upon seeing this, Lin Zhiro quickly stepped forward to check, and after confirming that the ice crystal pangolin had completely lost its breath of life, she showed a satisfied smile. She walked to Xiao Han and Shui Binger and patted their shoulders. Well done. The cooperation between the two of you is getting better and better. Of course, we have been in a relationship for 3 years after all. Stop talking nonsense. Binger, adjust your state and prepare to absorb the soul ring. Good. A cloud of yellow mist slowly rose from the body of the ice crystal pangolin, gradually condensing into a soul ring. After adjusting her condition, Shui Binger pulled the soul ring to her side and began to absorb it. Lin Zhiro waited quietly aside. Xiao Han sat down to practice, taking the opportunity to recover the soul power consumed in the battle. 3 hours later, Shui Binger completely absorbed the soul ring. Chapter 14 Tianshui Team, the strongest substitute. Xiao Han could clearly feel that the aura emanating from Shui Binger was stronger than before. It's different with the second soul ring. Binger, how many levels has your soul power increased? 2 levels. It's already caught up with me. Stop comforting me. I'm still nearly 1 level behind you in soul power. Lin Zhiro smiled and said. Binger, come on, try to leave this kid behind. Dean Lin, it's already good if I don't open a gap with him. Don't underestimate yourself, you can do it. By the way, what is your second soul skill? Shui Binger paused for a moment, then said. My second soul skill is a defensive skill. When this soul skill is activated, an ice ring will appear, which can be attached to myself or my teammates. Crystal blue armor will appear on the covered person, which can block enemies of the same level. The opponent's physical attack within 5 seconds, but it will also be broken when faced with some particularly powerful attacks. Lin Zhiro nodded with satisfaction. Binger's first 2 soul skills, one is a group restriction skill and the other is a group defense skill. They are perfect team battle soul skills and can play a vital role in team battles. Shui Binger's the 2 soul skills were the same as what Xiao Han had learned, and there was no change. All this happened naturally. Even though he was a time traveler who knew the plot in advance, Xiao Han did not change anything. Fortunately, it was not important. Shui Binger had these 2 soul skills, which was also good. Then, the 3 of them left the frozen forest. On the way back to Tianshui College, Xiao Han practiced in the carriage and successfully broke through the 23rd level. After returning to the college, Lin Zhiro told Dean Zhao what happened in the frozen forest. Dean Zhao was shocked after hearing it. I never thought that Xiao Han could absorb 1,000-year soul ring as his second soul ring. I have never seen anyone whose second soul ring has reached the 1,000-year level. This kid has created another miracle. Yes. Although he is a little willful, he can always bring us surprises. Well, Xiao Han's martial soul is somewhat similar to the Guangling divine bow of Guangling Douluo of the Spirit Hall. Maybe one day, he can reach or even surpass Guangling Douluo's achievements. The fifth worshipper of the Spirit Hall, Guangling Douluo, has both light and ice attributes. His soul power has reached level 96 and he is respected by all cold attribute soul masters. However, he is not a pure cold attribute soul master. Dean Zhao, are you so optimistic about Xiao Han? Of course, he has created 2 miracles at a young age, and his future is immeasurable. I hope so. Dean Zhao nodded with satisfaction. Binger is also very good. It's great that these 2 children can grow up together. Yeah. To be honest, I'm looking forward to the Soul Master competition in 7 years. Who isn't? The 2 smiled at each other and were full of confidence in the future of Xiao Han and Shui Binger. In the past teams participating in the Soul Master competition of Tianshui College, there have never been young Soul Masters as talented as Xiao Han and Shui Binger. They will definitely join the college team at the same time, and perhaps they can create miracles for Tianshui College and lead the team to the top 3 in the finals. Tilde. Time flies, and 2 years have passed in the blink of an eye. In these 2 years, Xiao Han and Shui Binger's soul power have increased by 6 levels. Now, Xiao Han is 11 years old, his soul power is level 29, and he is only 1 step away from breaking through level 30. Shui Binger's soul power is level 28. They are both qualified to be a member of the next Soul Master competition team. In the Soul Master competition that just ended, Tianshui College not only failed to make further progress, but also lost 1 person. The schools ranked before Tianshui College are Wuhun Hall College, Thunder College, Divine Wind College and Xingluo Imperial College. Tianshui College ranked 5th. Dean's Office. Dean Zhao looked serious, obviously dissatisfied with the result of this Soul Master competition. Zhuro, our college is about to form a brand new team. Although there are talented young talents like Xiaohan and Binger, the strength of other colleges is also improving. In addition to the Wuhun Hall College, which is full of talents, Thunder College, led by the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus Rex Spirit, has always been relatively strong. Feng Xiaoshan of Divine Wind College will also lead the team for the first time. In addition, the children of Huo Tianming, the dean of Chuo College, are also not to be underestimated. Xingluo Imperial College has always been judged by strength. It has risen in this Soul Master competition, and we have another strong opponent. But no matter what, our goal is still to advance to the top 3. Do you have any ideas? Lin Zhuro thought for a moment. She knew it was time to step forward. President Zhao, how about letting me lead the team myself? After the new team is formed, I will personally train them for the next 5 years. Okay, that's what I mean. I believe that under your leadership, our Tianshui College team will definitely achieve the best results ever. Well, I will work hard. Both of them are very confident in the new team. A few days later, the college announced the new team quota. The 7 main players are Yu Haro, Ji Qingbo, Shui Wu, Shen Luyu, Chu Ruishui, Shui Binger and Shui Yuer. In the past, the teams of Tianshui College participating in the Soul Master competition usually have 11 quotas, 7 main players and 4 substitutes. Most of the time, the main players are on the field, and the substitutes are used to prevent accidents. Therefore, the 7 main players were selected very early, and the 4 substitutes were not officially confirmed until the year before the Soul Master competition. But this time, it became different because of Xiao Han's existence. In addition to the 7 main players, there is also Xiao Han, the substitute, on the public list. Xiao Han's strength is well known to everyone in the academy. He locked in his place as a substitute 4 years in advance without any dispute. If it weren't for avoiding suspicion, he would definitely become one of the main players. The day after the new team list was announced, Lin Zhuro called 8 people to the training ground. From today, the new team of Tianshui College is officially established. For the next 5 years, I will be your team leader, responsible for training you, supervising your practice, and taking you to participate in the competition until the end of the Soul Master competition. After hearing this, everyone was surprised. They didn't expect that the new team leader would be Dean Lin. Xiao Han also learned of this important news at this time. Lin Zhuro continued. You all know that in the Soul Master competition that just ended, our Tianshui College only won the 5th place. You are all very young and have good potential, so Dean Zhao and I have high hopes for your team. I have great expectations and hope to bring you into the top 3. Xiao Han responded and said. Dean Lin, with you personally leading the team, we will definitely achieve good results. Chapter 15 The Third Soul Ring. In the academy, there must be a distinction between public and private matters. Xiao Han adapted quickly. Lin Zhuro was very satisfied and continued. You have also seen that the members of our team this year are different from the past. We have established a substitute in advance, and that is Xiao Han. Shui Binger smiled and said. With Xiao Han's strength, being a substitute is really unfair to him. Yes. Shui Yuei should also co-author it. Lin Zhuro interrupted them, glanced at Xiao Han, and joked. You don't have to pity him. It's good that he can stay in our women's college. Xiao Han chuckled. I'm not aggrieved at all. I'm very happy to be teammates with my sisters, no matter what the main substitute. As a substitute, I will be your strongest support. After listening to Xiao Han's words, everyone laughed. Lin Zhuro continued. Some of you have already trained together and have developed some tacit understanding with each other. But there are still a few from different classes who are not familiar with each other yet. So, please introduce yourselves first. Good. As the oldest member of the team, Yuhiro was the first to step forward and introduce. Hello everyone, I am Yuhiro, a martial soul coral barracuda, a level 26 attack type battle soul master. Ji-Yu Kingbo came on the stage for the second time. Hello everyone, I am Ji-Yu Kingbo, the martial spirit blue swordfish, a level 24 agility attack type combat spirit master. Next is Snow Dance. Hello everyone, I am Shui Wu, Wuhun Shanwu Shuiden, a level 27 auxiliary battle soul master. Shui Wu has long black hair, white skin, and looks quiet and calm. She is 1 year older than Shui Binger. Although Xiao Han has stayed in the academy for 5 years, he rarely sees her. The training of auxiliary soul masters is more difficult than that of ordinary soul masters. Xiao Han guessed that Shui Wu must practice very hard on weekdays, otherwise he would not be the best among his peers. He also knew that Shui Wu not only had the ability to change the weather, but would also be able to join forces with Shui Binger to perform a powerful soul fusion skill, Ice and Snow Piaoling. Another quiet girl appears. Hello everyone, I am Chen Luyu, Wuhun Enamel Fortune Crocodile, a level 23 attack type battle soul master. Shen Luyu has short, aqua blue hair with bangs, and looks very well behaved. The girl who came next was tall, with long ice blue hair standing up high, and a few thin bangs casually hanging on both sides of her face, looking very neat. Hello everyone, I am Chu Ruishui, the martial soul jade lotus smoked bass, a level 23 attack type battle soul master. Shui Binger then stepped forward. Hello everyone, I am Shui Binger, Wuhun Ice Phoenix, a 28th level control system battle soul master. Shui Yuei followed closely behind. Hello everyone, I am Shui Yuei, a martial soul jade dolphin, a level 22 agility attack type battle soul master. After all the girls were introduced, Xiao Han naturally became the last one. Everyone's eyes fell on Xiao Han invariably. As the only boy in Tianshui College and the little security guard in front of the girls' dormitory of Tianshui College, Xiao Han has long been accustomed to being looked at directly by girls. He walked forward calmly and introduced. Hello, fellow seniors, my name is Xiao Han, martial soul Junbing bow and arrow, level 29 assault type battle soul master. Only Shui Binger and Shui Yuei in the team knew that Xiao Han's soul power had reached level 29. Several other girls were surprised. They only knew that Xiao Han was born with full soul power, and his second soul ring reached the 1000-year level. I just didn't expect that Xiao Han, the youngest, had the highest rank. Lin Zhurio's eyes swept across several people, and finally fell on Shui Binger. Our Tianshui Academy team has always spoken with its strength. Although Binger is young, she has a calm personality and can take the overall situation into consideration. She is also the strongest among your 7 main players and is the best choice for captain. Binger, you will be the captain from now on. Captain. Everyone's eyes turned to Shui Binger. Shui Binger glanced at Xiao Han, and his prediction 2 years ago came true. Dean Lin, I will shoulder the responsibility of captain and work hard with everyone to achieve better results. Very good. Shui Wu, you will be the vice captain and assist Binger. Good. Lin Zhuro nodded with satisfaction. Next, I will conduct systematic training for you to cultivate your tacit understanding, and then I will take you to participate in actual combat to accumulate combat experience. From this moment on, you are a whole, helping each other and growing together. Clear. Afterwards, Lin Zhuro led everyone to start training. 3 or 4 months passed in a flash. In the past few months, everyone has been training together every day. The tacit understanding between each other has become better and better, and the strength has also been significantly improved. On this day, after Xiao Han finished practicing, his eyes suddenly lit up. I finally broke through level 30. However, I may not be able to take Binger to the frozen forest with me this time. Just a few days ago, Shui Binger successfully broke through level 29. According to Shui Binger's cultivation progress, it may take 4 months before she breaks through level 30. Now, Lin Zhuro is the team leader and does not have so much time and energy to spend in the frozen forest. Before leaving, Xiao Han came to Shui Binger. Binger, I'm going to the frozen forest. You accompanied me the last 2 times I hunted soul beasts. I'm not used to not having you this time. I want to go with you, but I just broke through level 29 and can't waste Dean Lin's time. Then let's go next time. I'll go with you then. Okay. After saying goodbye to Shui Binger, Xiao Han and Lin Zhuro headed for the far north together. The 2 of them rode at full speed and arrived at the frozen forest in less than half a month. Xiao Han, this time we will try to find a suitable soul beast in the shortest time possible. After helping you get the soul ring, we will go back early. Okay. Mom, my 3rd soul ring must be at least 2,000 years old. Got it. Although Xiao Han ate whale glue, Lin Zhuro would not let him take risks. She believed that the 3,000 years of the 3rd soul ring that Xiao Han was about to absorb was the limit. The 2 searched in the frozen forest for 10 days, but did not encounter any suitable soul beasts. They were either too young or too old, exceeding 3,000 years. Lin Zhuro's goal was clear, as long as the soul beasts had a cultivation base between 2,000 and 3,000 years. That day, the 2 were walking, and Lin Zhuro suddenly stopped. Xiao Han, there are soul beasts. Where are they? On that big tree. Xiao Han followed Lin Zhuro's gaze. On the towering tree 100 meters ahead, there were several ice blue birds standing. Mom, are those ice swifts? Yes. There are 2 whose cultivation base is exactly around 3,000 years. We will take one of them as your 3rd soul ring. They are extremely fast, and their attack power should not be underestimated. We must fight quickly and decisively. You protect yourself. As soon as Lin Zhuro finished speaking, she rushed out like a blue lightning. Chapter 16 Ice Wings. Those ice swifts seemed to sense the approach of danger. They flapped their wings and flew high, turning into blue lightning and scattering. Lin Zhuro's eyes were extremely firm, aiming at one of them and chasing after it. She knew that the speed advantage of the ice swifts could bring Xiao Han a speed boost, which was crucial for Xiao Han's future growth. Lin Zhuro was extremely fast. In the blink of an eye, she caught up with the ice swift with a cultivation base of 3,000 years and locked it with the ice freezing skill. However, at this critical moment, something unexpected happened. An unnoticed ice swift, relying on its amazing speed and flexibility, quietly approached Xiao Han from the flank. Its sharp beak flashed with cold light, obviously ready to give the young soul master a fatal blow. Faced with this sudden threat, Xiao Han was not panicked at all. The soul power in his body surged out like a rushing river, and the true ice bow and arrow martial spirit instantly condensed in his hand. A cold air emanated from his body, and even the air around him seemed to solidify a little. Xiao Han stretched out his body and soared into the air like an arrow from a string. The true ice bow and arrow in his hand drew a perfect arc in the air, pointing directly at the rushing ice swift. The second soul skill, 10,000 arrows, was launched instantly. Countless ice blue arrows shot out from the bowstring, like stars in the sky, covering the entire space with dense arrow rain. Those ice arrows were condensed from true ice, interweaving into a death net in the air, and each one contained the sharpness and coldness that could penetrate steel. This sudden rain of arrows blocked the sight of the ice swift. The sneak attack failed, and it flashed and rushed in another direction, disappearing from Xiao Han's sight in an instant. What a fast speed! Xiao Han couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Lin Zhuro breathed a sigh of relief when she saw the crisis resolved. Xiao Han's calmness and courage exceeded her imagination. Lin Zhuro has seen Xiao Han's progress in the past few years. In addition to the two soul skills, Xiao Han has also mastered a lot of superb combat skills. He can flexibly use the Junbing bow and arrow, using the bow as defense and the arrow as an attack. The only shortcoming is that he is still too young and it is difficult to resist when encountering a powerful opponent. However, this is a process that every young soul master must go through. Compared to his peers, Xiao Han is already good enough. The ice swift, who has been cultivating for 3,000 years, was firmly suppressed by Lin Zhuro's ice and was now pressed on the snow. Xiao Han, come and give it the last blow. Okay. Xiao Han jumped up with the Junbing arrow in his hand and stabbed the arrowhead fiercely into the head of the ice swift. The ice swift struggled violently, then remained motionless. Xiao Han quickly sat down to adjust his state and prepare to absorb the soul ring. After a while, a ball of purple mist slowly rose from the body of the ice swift, gradually condensing into a 1,000-year soul ring emitting purple light. Under Lin Zhuro's protection, Xiao Han began to absorb the soul ring. Like the previous two times, Xiao Han resisted the impact of the soul ring energy and finally absorbed it completely. When he opened his eyes again, he suddenly felt a bright light in front of his eyes, and his vision seemed to have improved again. What surprised Xiao Han even more was that his newly acquired soul skill gave him a special ability. Seeing Xiao Han wake up, Lin Zhuro couldn't wait to ask. Xiao Han, how is it? Old mom, my soul power has increased by 2 levels. This is an enhanced soul skill, and I also gained the ability to fly. Really? What exactly is it? Look. Xiao Han released his martial soul and soul ring as he spoke. With the sudden flash of the third soul ring, a pair of ice blue wings appeared on Xiao Han's back. The pair of wings have the same shape as the wings of the ice swift. They are made of ice. When a single wing is spread out, it is 2 meters long. Mom, let me try. Xiao Han jumped up like lightning and soared into the sky. He fluttered in the air a few times and quickly got used to the wings. This is the feeling of freedom, it's so refreshing. The pair of wings seemed to be integrated with Xiao Han's body, allowing Xiao Han to experience a feeling he had never experienced before. Lin Zhuro had taken him flying before, but having the ability to fly autonomously and control the direction felt completely different. Looking at Xiao Han flying freely in the air, Lin Zhuro also felt happy. She knew that Ice Swift could increase Xiao Han's speed, but she didn't expect that it would directly give him the ability to fly. For a young soul master, having the ability to fly is really important. Any soul skill has an attack range and cannot hit the target. No matter how powerful the soul skill is, it is in vain. In battles with opponents, soul masters with the ability to fly have an advantage. They can rely on their own flying ability to avoid the opponent's attack range. When encountering an opponent stronger than yourself, you can also escape by relying on your flying ability. Xiao Han landed next to Lin Zhuro. Mom, this feeling of flying freely is really great. Of course. Congratulations, you have an extra escape skill. Mom, this is for fighting. Lin Zhuro laughed. I was just joking. By the way, what kind of increase does this soul skill bring to you? When I use this soul skill, my speed, attack and defense can be increased by 100%. It can also be linked to my first 2 skills to increase my attack power. However, using the linked skill consumes a lot of my soul power. But if it's just used for flying, the consumption is still quite small. Very good. This is a very good skill. You have to use it well. As your soul power increases in the future, it will play a more important role. Well, I understand. Lin Jiro looked around. Let's leave quickly before it gets dark. Okay, let's fly out. The two then spread their wings and flew away, quickly flying out of the frozen forest. Having the ability to fly is different. It can save a lot of time. Yes. Mom, can you accompany me to Tiando City? After hearing this, Lin Jiro frowned. Why are you going to Tiando City? You don't want to go to Sunset Forest again, do you? No, just go to Tiando City. I want to borrow something from Prince Shui Qinghe. Lin Jiro became even more confused and felt that Xiao Han was being unreasonable. Although she and Dean Zhao had both met Shui Qinghe, they were not familiar with each other at all. If Dean Zhao met Shui Qinghe in person and asked him to do something, Shui Qinghe might give him some face. But will Shui Qinghe meet Xiao Han, an 11-year-old child? Xiao Han, if you want to borrow something from His Highness the Prince, I'm afraid you won't even be able to see his face. How will you know if you don't try? Then tell me first, what do you want to borrow? I'm afraid only he can help me get the thing I want to borrow, which is the Illustrated Book of Immortal Grass, from Wuhun Palace. Chapter 17 Meeting Qian Runshui for the first time. Xiao Han knew that there were only a handful of people in the world who knew about fairy grass. Yu Guan, Elder Ju of Wuhun Palace, is a real lover of flowers. He has been studying flowers and plants all his life, and he knows all kinds of exotic flowers and plants like the back of his hand. Tang San came from another world. Relying on the Zhantian Baolu, the secret book of the Tang sect, he could accurately identify various kinds of immortal grass, so he was considered one. There are also Yang Wudi, the leader of the Po clan, and his younger brother Yang Wushuang. However, it is still unknown how much the brothers know about fairy grass. Although Dugu Bo has done a lot of research on various medicinal herbs, he doesn't even know the fairy grass in his own medicinal garden, so he is no more than a layman. Xiao Han knew that none of these people could help him. Go to Qian Runshui, who is pretending to be Prince Shui Qinghe, for help. Maybe there is a chance. The Wuhun Palace has the richest resources, and treasure books such as the Illustrated Book of Immortal Grass should be included in it. Only then did Lin Jiro understand Xiao Han's purpose. You brat, after all, it's all about the medicinal herbs. Mom, that's not an ordinary medicinal herb, that's fairy grass. Lin Jiro gave Xiao Han a look of disdain. Your idea is very childish. Why would His Highness the Crown Prince help you? He may think, like me, that you are fooling around. That's why I asked you to go with me. Vice President of Tianshui College, you have to give me this face, right? You don't have to worry about anything else, as long as I see others. Xiao Han's eyes were firm, and he seemed to be confident about his plan. Lin Jiro smiled helplessly. Okay, I'll take you to see him. But he is the prince of the empire after all. If you cause any trouble, I can't spare you. Don't worry, Mom. I can't harm anyone, tilde. The next day, the two set off and headed straight to Tiando City. We will reach our destination in a few days. Tiando City, as Tiando the heart of the empire, its prosperity is breathtaking. The city wall is towering into the clouds, like a giant dragon entrenched, guarding the endless glory and tranquility of this imperial city. The spacious and straight streets in the city are lined with shops, crowded with people, and colorful signboards of all kinds complement each other, making it very lively. Xiao Han and Lin Jiro shuttled through the bustling market and soon arrived outside the palace. The huge palace shines with golden brilliance in the sun, demonstrating the majesty and dignity of the royal family. Lin Jiro found a guard and expressed his intention to come. The water token she carries with her was personally issued by Emperor Shui, which can prove her status as the dean of Tianshui College. The other side. Prince Shui Qinghe was reading in the study when a guard suddenly came to report. His Royal Highness, I would like to ask for an audience with Dean Lin of Tianshui College. After hearing this, Shui Qinghe immediately put down the book in his hand, with a puzzled look on his face. Dean Lin. Is she the only one? She also brought a teenager with her. Shui Qinghe stood up, thoughtfully. A teenager. Could it be the child she adopted? I heard that he was born with a lot of soul power, so he was admitted to Tianshui College under special circumstances. Got it. Take them to the side hall, I'll be there right away. Yes. After a while, the guard returned. Dean Lin, I've been waiting for a long time. Please come with me. Xiao Han and Lin Zhiro smiled at each other, followed the guard, walked through several corridors, and came to a main hall. Shui Qinghe hasn't arrived yet, so the two of them are waiting here. Mom, let me just say, His Highness the Crown Prince needs to give you some face as the Vice President of Tianshui College. You brat, don't be so talkative. When you meet His Highness the Crown Prince later, don't be careless and be serious. I know. But, Mom, I want to talk to him alone, okay? What? Do you think I'm an eyesore? That's only if he's willing. While the two were talking, they suddenly heard footsteps coming from outside the hall. Stop talking, Your Highness is here. Shui Qinghe walked into the main hall and saw that the person coming was indeed Dean Lin. He met Lin Zhiro and Dean Zhao at the Soul Master competition that ended just a few months ago. Seeing that the visitor was Shui Qinghe, Lin Zhiro and Xiao Han bowed. Meet His Highness the Crown Prince. Shui Qinghe smiled slightly. You two don't have to be polite, I've been waiting for a long time. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince is serious. We have just arrived. Xiao Han raised his head and saw Shui Qinghe's face clearly. Shui Qinghe looks to be in his 20s, with a fairly handsome face. There is a gentle and scholarly air between his eyebrows, and a light but friendly smile hanging on the corner of his mouth, which makes people feel good about him involuntarily. He was wearing an exquisite golden robe, embroidered with complex and delicate patterns, demonstrating his noble status and extraordinary temperament. Those deep eyes seemed to be able to penetrate people's hearts, but they inadvertently revealed a bit of the majesty and depth that a prince should have, making people dare not look directly at them for too long. Shui Qinghe slowly walked towards the two of them, showing the demeanor of a royal child in every gesture. Dean Lin, this young man looks talented and majestic. He must be Xiao Han, right? There was a hint of appreciation in Shui Qinghe's words, and his eyes stayed on Xiao Han for a moment, seeming to be quite interested in this young man. Lin Zhiro nodded and responded. Your Highness is very grateful. He is Xiao Han. Dean Lin can bring him to see me personally, which shows that he attaches great importance to this matter. I wonder what important matters you two come here to discuss. As Shui Qinghe spoke, his eyes showed wisdom and calmness, as if he was ready to deal with any situation. This calm and unhurried attitude added to his majesty and charm as a prince. Lin Zhiro replied respectfully. His Royal Highness the Crown Prince is wise. We do have something to ask for on this trip. Oh. Dean Lin might as well say it straight. As long as I can do it, I will definitely help you. Thank you, Your Highness. Regarding this matter, Quanzi Xiao Han would like to chat with you alone. Hearing this, Shui Qinghe's eyes flashed with surprise, and his eyes fell on Xiao Han again. From the moment she met Xiao Han, Shui Qinghe felt that this young man was not simple. Lin Zhirio's words made Shui Qinghe more interested in Xiao Han. He couldn't wait to know why this young man came. Shui Qinghe waved slightly to the guard behind him. You guys go down first and wait outside the hall. Yes. The guards retreated. Your Highness, this is the first time Quanzi has entered the palace. If you accidentally say something wrong, I hope Your Highness will forgive you. Xiao Han is a smart man at first glance, but Dean Lin is overly worried. Shui Qinghe always had a smile on his face. Sensing his kindness, Lin Zhiro also retreated. In the main hall, only Xiao Han and Shui Qinghe were left. The two looked at each other, and Xiao Han was not timid at all. He knew that hidden under Shui Qinghe's skin was Qian Runshui, the young master of Wuhun Palace. After all, Qian Runshui has been lurking in the Tiando Palace for 10 years as Shui Qinghe. Chapter 18 Look at your strength. In Xiao Han's eyes, Shui Qinghe in front of him was just a woman disguised as a man. At this time, her real age may be less than 20 years old. Shui Qinghe suddenly asked. Xiao Han, why did you come to me specially? Your Highness the Crown Prince. I'm looking for something. I'm afraid only you can do it in this world. Help me. Oh. What is it? Tell me about it. It's a book called, Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. Shui Qinghe was a little surprised to learn that it was a book. He didn't expect Xiao Han to come for it. Although he felt it was a little outrageous, Shui Qinghe still smiled casually. Xiao Han, this is the first time I've heard of, Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. As far as I know, there seems to be no such book in the Imperial Library. Your Highness, this book seems to be in the Spirit Hall, so I came to you for help. Soul Hall. Shui Qinghe frowned, thinking. The Soul Hall does have many precious and rare books of all kinds, but Qian Runshui didn't stay in the Soul Hall for a long time and didn't know much about it. She guessed that the book Xiao Han mentioned might indeed be in the Soul Hall. She just didn't know why this teenager in his teens wanted to get it. Xiao Han, do you know about fairy grass? Are you very interested in it? Xiao Han said seriously. Your Highness, to be honest, although I am not very old, I know a little about medicine. I have been studying various herbs since I was a child. If I couldn't be a soul master, I would be a doctor who saves the dying and the wounded. Now, I have become a soul master, but studying herbs is still my interest. After listening to Xiao Han's explanation, Shui Qinghe nodded slightly, with a little admiration in her eyes. You have become a soul master with full innate soul power, with unlimited potential, but you still remember your original intention, which is rare. However, the book you mentioned is in the Spirit Hall, I am afraid. Shui Qinghe paused, looking a little embarrassed. Your Highness, what's wrong? You are still young, there are some things I can't tell you. The Spirit Hall is no longer the original Spirit Hall. The relationship between the Empire and them is such that even if I am the prince, they may not be willing to give me the book. Do you understand? Xiao Han certainly understood that if the real Shui Qinghe went to get it, the Spirit Hall would definitely ignore him, but his true identity is the young master of the Spirit Hall. As long as the Spirit Hall has the Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses, he will definitely be able to get it. It seems that he has to show his sincerity to him. Your Highness, I believe that as long as you make a move, you will definitely get it, so I came to you. If you are willing to help me this time, I will repay your kindness. Although I am not strong enough now, I may be able to help you in 5 or 10 years. After hearing this, Shui Qinghe grinned. The young man in front of him was extremely mature and a little arrogant in his words and deeds. This was somewhat similar to her personality, being persistent in getting what she wanted. Shui Qinghe was not angry because of Xiao Han's persistence, but admired his courage. He dared to speak in front of the prince when he first entered the palace. This young man was too confident. The confidence of ordinary people comes from their own strong strength. If they don't have any real skills, they are just conceited. Qian Runshui lurked in Tianduhuang since he entered the palace. He has been secretly building his own power. She will naturally not miss a young man with potential. As Xiao Han said, he may not be of use now, but who can say what will happen in 5 or 10 years. What's more, Tianshui College is standing behind him. Qian Runshui knew that Xiao Han was gifted, so he was admitted to Tianshui College as an exception. However, she didn't know whether this young man had fulfilled his talent after several years of training. I didn't expect you to be so obsessed with the Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses. It seems that you are very confident about your future. Of course. Your Highness, I just got the 3rd soul ring in the frozen forest and came to see you. Shui Qinghe was stunned for a moment, realizing that Xiao Han wanted to show his strength in front of him to prove that what he said was true. Have you reached the level of Soul Master? Yes, Your Highness. I am 11 years old this year, and my soul power is 32 levels. 11 years old, level 32. Shui Qinghe suddenly thought of the Spirit Hall Academy team. She heard that the members of this year's team of the Spirit Hall Academy are all talented and have unlimited potential, especially Xie Yu, Huliena and Yan, who are highly expected by Pope Bibi Dong. But even among the 3 of them, none of them broke through the level 32 soul power at the age of 11. The boy in front of him is obviously a more outstanding existence. Shui Qinghe looked at Xiao Han in disbelief, but still smiled. Xiao Han, I have never seen anyone reach the Soul Master level at the age of 11, you are the first. Do you mind showing your strength? Of course not. Your Highness, I dare not speak nonsense in front of you. Xiao Han stretched out his hands and slowly released his martial soul and soul ring. The Junbing bow and arrow released a chilling cold, and the air in the hall seemed to be frozen, and the temperature dropped sharply. 3 soul rings of yellow, purple, and purple surrounded Xiao Han, reflecting the confident look on his face. Seeing this scene, Shui Qinghe's pupils shrank suddenly, and he couldn't help but sigh in his heart. The second soul ring has reached the 1,000-year level. Even I, who is at the 20 level of innate full soul power, have never done it. How did he do it? He really fulfilled his talent and has a bright future. If I can really use it in the future. Xiao Han put away his martial soul and soul ring and smiled. Your Highness, I'm afraid you'll be frozen, so I put it away first. Shui Qinghe recovered and smiled. You are indeed gifted. No wonder Tianshui College is so good to you. Admission by exception. At such a young age, the second soul ring has reached the age of 1,000 years, which is incredible. Shui Qinghe's generous praise did not make Xiao Han complacent. Xiao Han said modestly. Your Highness, I am just lucky. Shui Qinghe nodded slightly. I will try my best to help you get the illustrated guide of immortal grasses you mentioned. Thank you, Your Highness. You are welcome. If I get it, I will send someone to notify you. Okay. The two smiled at each other. Shui Qinghe suddenly asked. By the way, has your Tianshui College's team for the next Soul Master competition been formed? Yes, the new team has been formed. If I am not mistaken, you should also be a member of the team. Yes, Your Highness. But I am just a substitute. It seems that you are a special existence. I hope to see your wonderful performance in the next Soul Master competition. Your Highness, I will work hard. Afterwards, Xiao Han and Lin Zhiro left the palace. Chapter 19. That guy is a bootlicker. The first meeting with Qian Runshui, who was pretending to be the Crown Prince Shui Qinghe, went smoothly. Xiao Han showed his strength and potential in front of Qian Runshui, proving that he was a young man worth looking forward to. He believed that Qian Runshui would help him get the illustrated guide of immortal grasses, not only because of him, but also because she wanted to win over the power of Tianshui College. Of course, what Xiao Han wanted was not just as simple as getting the illustrated guide of immortal grasses. He wanted to get familiar with Qian Runshui and get more information about Douluo Bo from Qian Runshui. As long as Douluo Bo is still in the yin-yang eye of ice and fire, Xiao Han cannot enter. Only when he is away can he have the opportunity to pick the immortal herbs there. This matter must be completed within the next 3 years, and Xiao Han does not have much time left. After leaving the palace, Xiao Han told Lin Zhiro about his conversation with Shui Qinghe, and Lin Zhiro breathed a sigh of relief. Xiao Han, I didn't expect that His Royal Highness the Crown Prince would be willing to help you. However, the book you mentioned is in the Spirit Hall. Can he really help you get it? I believe he can do it. It is not convenient for Xiao Han to tell Lin Zhiro about Shui Qinghe's true identity now. Lin Zhiro reminded. Xiao Han, if he really helps you get that book, you should not be obsessed with researching or even looking for those immortal herbs. Now there are only more than 4 years left before the Soul Master competition, and cultivation is your top priority. Mom, I know my limits. How can immortal herbs be so easy to find? They are very tonic, much more powerful than whale glue. For young soul masters like us, if we can take the right immortal herbs, the speed of cultivation will be doubled. Is it as magical as you say? Of course. Lin Zhiro seemed to realize something and said seriously. Stinky boy, I warn you, don't always think about the things in Douluo Bo's poison array. Even if there are some rare and precious herbs in it, you can't covet them. That is Douluo Bo's territory. We escaped last time by luck. You can't take risks again. Mom, you worry too much. How could I joke with my own life? I don't know you yet. Anyway, don't think about it. Okay. I'll listen to you. Xiao Han didn't want to make Lin Zhiro worry, but he had to go to the yin-yang eyes of ice and fire, and he had to get the fairy grass. However, this plan could only be implemented under absolutely safe conditions. A few days later, Xiaohan returned to Tianshui College and told Shui Binger about how he hunted the ice swift in the frozen forest and gained the ability to fly. Shui Binger was surprised and happy. Xiaohan, you actually gained the ability to fly, it's really great. Yes, I will be able to fly freely in the air like you in the future. By the way, do you feel that you are about to break through level 30? Not yet. However, even if I break through level 30, I may not go to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts immediately. Xiaohan was a little confused. Why? I want to wait for Shuiwu. I made an appointment with her. After we both break through level 30, we will go to the frozen forest together. During the time you were away, she has broken through level 29. I see, that's good. It seems that you two get along very well. Yes. Xiaohan thought of the martial soul fusion skills of Shui Binger and Shui Wu. The martial soul fusion skills require a common understanding of the martial soul and the mind. They did not enter Tianshui College together, but after forming a new team, the two quickly established a good friendship. Shui Wu now has two soul skills. The first soul skill is dark clouds, which can control the weather and bring a dark cloud. The second soul skill is rainfall, which requires dark clouds in the sky to activate. This soul skill brings bean-sized raindrops, which turn into a large curtain of water to pour down to irrigate the opponent. Shui Wu's first two soul skills have little attack power, but they can provide water element assistance to teammates. Xiaohan knew that what could really improve Shui Wu and the entire team was her upcoming third soul skill, ice and snow. When Shui Wu activated that soul skill, a large amount of ice and snow would appear in the sky, and the temperature within the range covered by the soul skill would drop significantly, which could weaken the opponent's combat power and continuously consume the opponent's soul power. Based on this soul skill, Shui Wu could join hands with Shui Binger to launch the martial soul fusion skill, ice and snow drifting. Binger, you and Shui Wu, you have such a good relationship with Wu, have you ever thought about teaming up with her to perform martial arts fusion skills? Martial spirit fusion skill. Yes. Shui Wu is an auxiliary soul master, and you have the top-notch beast spirit ice phoenix. As long as your two minds are in harmony, you will definitely be able to exert unimaginable fusion power. Shui Binger smiled softly and was quite interested in Xiaohan's proposal. Your idea is very good. After she and I both break through level 30, we will study it carefully. Well, I believe that you two can succeed. Then I will accompany you to the frozen forest to hunt the soul beasts. Good. While the two were talking, several other girls in the team came over. Yu Haro said. Xiaohan, we heard from Dean Lin that your third soul skill gives you the ability to fly, which is really good. Ji Yu Kingbo responded and said. Yes, Xiaohan is getting more and more powerful. At the beginning, we were worried that Xiaohan would become our opponent. Now in our team, both Xiaohan and Binger have the ability to fly, so they won't be too passive when facing Thunder and Divine Wind Academy. The force behind Thunder Academy is the Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus Rex family, and its team is led by the captain who possesses the Blue Electric Tyrannosaurus Rex martial spirit. As a top beast martial spirit, the Blue Lightning Tyrannosaurus is famous for its brutal attack power, and it also comes with powerful thunder and lightning attacks. Thunder and lightning have a natural restraint effect on ice and water elements. Therefore, in previous Soul Master competitions, Tianshui College was repeatedly defeated in battles with Thunder College. Thunder Academy seems to have become a lingering nightmare in their minds. In addition to Thunder College, Shanfeng College also firmly suppresses Tianshui College. Divine Wind Academy is full of Wind Soul Masters. They are famous for their amazing speed, and most of the team members have the ability to fly, making them extremely difficult to deal with. The Tianshui Academy's current team has two Soul Masters with the ability to fly, which may be able to change the past disadvantages. Therefore, everyone has high hopes for Shui Binger and Xiaohan. Shui Binger said. I heard Dean Zhao say that Feng Xiaoshan, the captain of the Divine Wind Academy team, is also a Soul Master with innate soul power. He should be 19 years old this year and has good strength. The strange thing is that he did not participate. I don't know the reason for the last Soul Master competition. Feng Xiaoshan. Xiao Han grinned. That guy is a licker. He deliberately lowers his level for the girl he likes. He is still researching some self-created soul skills. Self-created soul skills. Those who can develop self-created soul skills are definitely not ordinary people. Well, I heard that he has already researched it, and it's called, Wind Demonic Wolf Continuous Slash. That move is really powerful, and most people can't handle it. If we want to defeat him, we have to find a way to break it. Chapter 20 Inches Illustrated Book of Immortals. Xiao Han knew that Feng Xiaoshan's self-created soul skill, the Wind Demon Wolf Continuous Slash, had a superimposed effect, and each slash was more powerful than the previous one. But this soul skill also has weaknesses, and it requires early accumulation to complete. Feng Xiaoshan has the ability to fly and is extremely fast. A soul master without the ability to fly cannot stop him from accumulating power. Xiao Han felt lucky that he and Shui Binger both had the ability to fly and could interfere with Feng Xiaoshan's self-created soul skills in advance. Tianshui Academy has a good relationship with the two elemental academies of Kamikaze and Blazing Fire. In the past, before the start of the Soul Master competition, they would communicate and discuss together. Xiao Han guessed that he might be able to see the two teams soon. Tilde. Time flies so fast, and in the blink of an eye it's been another 3 months. Shui Binger has broken through level 30, while Shui Wu is still stuck at level 30. After training that day, Lin Zhuro left Shui Binger and Shui Wu behind. Shui Wu, are you about to break through level 30? Well, I feel like it's still a little bit worse. Lin Zhuro nodded with satisfaction and then said, I've thought about it. In order to save time, let's go to the frozen forest early. You can also practice on the way to the frozen forest and while searching for the soul beast. After Binger obtains the third soul ring, you may also, if you break through, you will be able to obtain the soul ring. Okay. Dean Lin, I will follow your arrangement. Shui Wu and Shui Binger looked at each other and smiled, both looking forward to the upcoming third soul ring. Shui Binger asked, Dean Lin, will Xiao Han go with us? Well, take it with you. I'm not in the academy, I'm afraid he will cause some trouble. After going to Tiando City to meet Prince Shui Qinghe last time, Lin Zhuro felt very conflicted. She not only hoped that Xiao Han could get the illustrated Book of Immortals that he dreamed of, but she was also worried that he would always be thinking about the rare herbs in the Dugu Bo poison formation. 3 months have passed and Xiao Han still has not received any news from the palace. Lin Zhuro thought that Shui Qinghe might not take this matter to heart. If you can't get the illustrated Book of Immortals, maybe it's a good thing. You two should also go back and prepare. We will set off tomorrow. Good. When the three of them were about to leave, Xiao Han ran over panting. Mom, good news. What good news? The prince replied to my letter and asked me to go to the palace. I guess he should help me get the book. Xiao Han said, then handed the letter in his hand to Lin Zhuro. Mom, you can see for yourself. Lin Zhuro took it and opened it and took a look. There is not much content in the letter, nor does it mention the illustrated Book of Immortals. Shui Qinghe only asked Xiao Han to go to the palace to meet him. Xiao Han, I thought the prince didn't take this matter to heart. However, he didn't mention the book you wanted in the letter. You should have gotten it, otherwise you wouldn't have replied to me so late. Mom, please accompany me to Tiando City, or I can go alone. No, I'll go with you. Lin Zhuro was worried about letting Xiao Han go to Tiando City alone. Listening to the conversation between mother and son, Shui Binger and Shui Wu were confused. Shui Binger asked, Dean Lin, Xiao Han, what are you talking about? After returning from the frozen forest last time, my mother and I went to the Tiando Palace to meet the prince and wanted to ask him to help me get something from the Wuhun Palace. After 3 months, he finally wrote me a reply. I see. The book you want must be very important, otherwise you wouldn't go to the palace to find him. Well, it's very important. Xiao Han hasn't mentioned this matter to Shui Binger yet. Lin Zhuro said to Xiao Han. I just agreed with Binger and Shuiwu that we will take them to the frozen forest to hunt soul beasts tomorrow. It seems that our plan needs to change. We will go to Tiando City first, and then go to the frozen forest. Mom, shall the four of us go to Tiando City together? Great. Binger, Shuiwu, have you been to Tiando City before? The two girls shook their heads together. Tianshui City is in the northwest of the empire, thousands of miles away from Tiando City. Shui Binger's family background is relatively good, but she has been training at Tianshui Academy since she was 6 years old and has never been to Tiando City. Lin Zhuro smiled and said. Then we'll set off tomorrow. You all go back and prepare. Good. The next day, Xiao Han and his party took a carriage to Tiando City. 10 days later, we arrived at our destination. After getting off the carriage, Shui Binger and Shuiwu were shocked by the prosperity of Tiando City. The capital of the empire is indeed different. Yes, this is the center of power and desire, the world of the rich. Xiao Han has been here once and didn't feel much about it. No matter how prosperous and lively the city is, it has nothing to do with him. The four of them soon arrived outside the palace. Xiao Han said. Mom, there are etiquette and rules everywhere in the palace, which are too troublesome. Just wait for me here. I will come back as soon as I go. Okay, I don't want to enter the palace anyway. You should be smart and don't speak openly in front of His Highness the Crown Prince. Well, I know. Afterwards, Xiao Han entered the palace alone and was taken by a guard to the hall where he last met Shui Qinghe. Not long after, the sound of footsteps came from outside the hall. Seeing that the person coming was Shui Qinghe, Xiao Han bowed. I have met His Highness the Crown Prince. No need to be polite. There was a faint smile on Shui Qinghe's face. There was a guard standing behind him, holding a black wooden box in his hand. The wooden box looks very delicate and is made of precious wood. Xiao Han, I'll help you get what you want. As soon as Shui Qinghe finished speaking, the guard handed the wooden box to Xiao Han, and then slowly exited the hall. In the entire hall, only Xiao Han and Shui Qinghe were left. Open it and see if it's the book you mentioned. Good. Xiao Han was a little excited and quickly opened the wooden box. What caught the eye was a piece of golden brocade. Xiao Han carefully opened it, as if he had discovered a treasure. There is indeed a book inside. The book is very thick, but there is not a single word on the exquisite cover. Xiao Han didn't think much and gently opened the wordless cover. The contents of the book made his eyes light up. The book contains maps of fairy grasses of different shapes and colors. Each fairy grass is lifelike, as if it can jump out of the pages. Next to those fairy grasses, there are detailed text descriptions, including the growth environment, picking timing and precautions, etc. Everything is detailed. There are detailed descriptions of the celestial herbs such as star anise ice grass, fiery apricot jiaoshu, acacia broken heart red, strange velvet tongtian chrysanthemum and so on. Xiao Han felt that there was a faint fragrance of ink in the book, and the patterns seemed to have been painted not long ago. Obviously, it is not the original version, but is made according to the original version. Chapter 21 Your Highness, you smell so good. Even if this, illustrated book of immortal grass, is not the original version, Xiao Han is very happy. There is no difference between the copied version and the original version. With it, you can accurately identify various types of grass jelly. Xiao Han carefully put the book into the box. Thank you, Your Highness, Prince. Xiao Han will remember this kindness in his heart. Shui Qinghe smiled slightly. Xiao Han, didn't you find anything wrong? Your Highness, are you referring to this book? It doesn't seem to be the original version. Yes, it is indeed not the original version, but was made according to the original version. Wuhun Palace regards it as one of the treasured books, and does not want more people to see it, so they have to keep the original text for themselves. I finally managed to all help you get this copy. Thank you, Your Highness. Xiao Han bowed to Shui Qinghe again to express his gratitude. You're welcome. Since I promised you, I will definitely do it. Xiao Han wanted to take the opportunity to inquire about Douluo I, so he boldly asked. Your Highness, I have another question to ask you. I'm not sure if it's appropriate. What's the problem? Just tell me. Seeing Shui Qinghe act so straightforward, Xiao Han's worries were dispelled. Your Highness, do you know the whereabouts of poison Douluo Bo? After hearing this, Shui Qinghe frowned. Bo is a guest of Prince Shuexing, and the two have a close relationship. Prince Shuexing has always supported the fourth Prince Shui Beng, and secretly competed with Shui Qinghe. Therefore, Bo, like Prince Shuexing and Shui Beng, is an enemy that Qian Runshui wants to get rid of. Xiao Han, why do you want to know Bo's whereabouts? Your Highness, to be honest. Last time, my mother and I were looking for herbs in the Sunset Forest, we met Poison Douluo. At that time, we didn't know that it was his territory. He set up a poison array there, and the poison array happened to contain the herbs I was looking for. What? You met Bo? Well, that was 2 or 3 years ago. My mother reported the name of the vice president of Tianshui College, and we left there smoothly. After listening to Xiao Han's explanation, Shui Qinghe's face showed a trace of barely perceptible contempt, and he was somewhat dissatisfied with Bo's behavior of taking part of the land in the Sunset Forest for himself. As far as I know, Bo is a bit unkind and arrogant. You were lucky to get away with provoking him. Yeah, I didn't expect to trespass into his territory. When did Sunset Forest become Bo's territory? From what you said, you still want to go there to collect herbs. Are you really not afraid of death? Xiao Han smiled disapprovingly. Your Highness, I asked you about the whereabouts of Poison Douluo because I wanted to go there when he was not around. Bo has a strange personality and his whereabouts are uncertain. However, in recent years, he has stayed in the prince's mansion on the 6th day of October every year, because that day is the day when my uncle holds a birthday banquet. The 6th day of October is Prince Shuexing's birthday. He is there all day. Yes, it has been like this in the past few years. Xiao Han was surprised. Given the relationship between Bo and Prince Shuexing, he would definitely be there on the day when Prince Shuexing held a birthday banquet. You can go to the Yin-Yang Eye of Ice and Fire to pick the immortal grass on the day when Bo is not around. Xiao Han knew that Qian Runshui was willing to tell him this, which was considered to be trusting him. He moved closer to Shui Qinghe and whispered. Your Highness, I asked you about the matter of Poison Douluo, will you keep it a secret for me? If it is leaked, my life will be in danger. Oh, Xiao Han, little brother, so you are afraid of death too. Shui Qinghe's tone was a bit teasing, which made Xiao Han even more unscrupulous. Of course I am afraid, that is Bo who kills without blinking an eye. While Xiao Han was talking, he moved closer and dared to sniff with his nose. Your Highness, you smell so good, what spices are you using? Shui Qinghe took 2 steps back embarrassedly. It's made by the palace people, I don't know what ingredients it contains. If you like it, I'll bring you a bottle next time. Okay, thank you, Your Highness. You're welcome. Although Shui Qinghe's true identity is a girl, she didn't take the closeness of the 11 to 12-year-old boy in front of her to heart, thinking that he was unintentional. By the way, do you really plan to go to Bo's poison array on the day of my uncle's birthday banquet? As far as I know, his jade phosphorus snake king poison is extremely toxic, so you'd better be careful. Your Highness, don't worry. I have some research on herbs, and the jade phosphorus snake king poison is not difficult for me. Shui Qinghe nodded slightly, looking at Xiao Han with a little admiration in his eyes. It seems that you are very confident in yourself. However, for safety reasons, it's better to come to me before you go there. It's not too late to go after you make sure Bo is not there. Okay. Tiando City is only 200 miles away from the Sunset Forest. For Xiao Han, who has the ability to fly, this distance is nothing. Only when he confirmed that Bo was not in the Sunset Forest would his situation be safe. It was the end of November, and there was still nearly a year until the 6th day of October next year. It was just the right time to take a good look at the Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses, and master more knowledge about immortal grasses. Xiao Han put the wooden box into the soul guide. Your Highness, thank you for your help. I will definitely find a chance to repay you in the future. My mother and senior sister are still waiting outside the palace, so I'll go first. Well, go ahead, see you next time. This was the second time Qian Runshui had seen Xiao Han, and she was becoming more and more interested in the young man in front of her. She felt that Xiao Han was very courageous and would become a great figure when he grew up. Afterwards, Xiao Han said goodbye to Shui Qinghe and left the hall. Qian Runshui helped him a lot. Not only did she get the illustrated guide of immortal grasses, for him, she also provided important information about Douluo I. He thought to himself that if he could successfully pick the immortal grass, he would give a suitable one to Qian Runshui to repay her kindness. Seeing Xiao Han return with a smile on his face, Lin Zhiro said, Xiao Han, it seems that His Royal Highness the Crown Prince has helped you get the book. Yes. He actually took this matter to heart. I don't know what sweet words you used. Xiao Han chuckled. Mom, I moved him with my sincerity. Don't show off, let's go quickly. Yes, let's go to the frozen forest. The four of them happily took a carriage and headed for the frozen forest. It was a long journey from Tiando City to the frozen forest. It took them 20 days to arrive. Along the way, Shui Wu and Shui Binger were practicing seriously. Xiao Han spent more time on the illustrated Book of Immortals, and got to know a lot of them. A group of 4 people entered the frozen forest. Shui Binger is about to receive her first 1,000-year soul ring. Friends, the previous poisonous point has been changed. Shui Binger was set to innate level 9. After awakening her martial soul, she fell ill. She spent more than half a year improving her physique. After only practicing for 3 or 4 months, her soul power increased by 1 level, reaching level 10 simultaneously with the protagonist. Shui Yuee was born at level 7. Close black lens bracket. Chapter 22 Shui Binger's third ring. Xiao Han and his party of 4 carefully shuttled through the frozen forest. The surroundings are surrounded by cold air and covered in silver, a crystal clear scene. Their goal is to find a soul beast with a cultivation level of no more than 2,000 years for Shui Binger to help her obtain the third soul ring. After searching for several days, I didn't find anything suitable. Lin Zhiro relied on her rich experience to guide the team into areas that were more dangerous but also more likely to find the target soul beast. Finally, in a valley covered with thick ice and snow, an unusual cold air emanated from the depths, which made Lin Zhiro feel refreshed. Everyone, be careful. There is a 1,000-year soul beast ahead. Don't disturb it. Lin Zhiro warned everyone in a low voice to stay vigilant. Several people slowly approached the source of the cold air. As the distance got closer, a huge soul beast covered with blue ice crystal scales came into view. Its eyes were like deep cold pools, and a round light blue halo floated on its back, exuding bursts of biting chill, making the surrounding air freeze. It's a frost moon ice ring beast with a cultivation level of nearly 2,000 years. Lin Zhiro seemed a little excited. Finally I found the right soul beast. Binger, this is it. Good. Shui Binger, Xiao Han and Shui Wu looked at each other, and the 3 of them were ready to fight. This soul beast, which has a cultivation level of nearly 2,000 years, will be hunted by the 3 of them. The Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast noticed the arrival of the human soul master, and the light blue halo on its back began to fluctuate violently. An ice blue halo spread around like ripples, carrying a strong resistance. Lin Zhiro saw this and reminded. Pay attention to the halo on its back, that is its main means of attack. Clear. Xiao Han, Shui Binger and Shui Wu all released their respective martial souls and soul rings. Shui Binger's first soul ring suddenly shone, and she was the first to activate the freezing skill. A layer of hard ice instantly enveloped the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast, which was over 3 meters long. Shui Binger tried to use this to freeze its movements and test its strength. Suddenly, the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast broke free from the shackles of the ice, and the blue halo on its back bloomed with more dazzling light, releasing an even more powerful chill. A violent force suddenly attacked the 3 people. Facing the sudden attack of the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast, Shui Binger jumped into the air with Shui Wu, quickly dodging the attack range of the power of the halo. The third soul ring on Xiao Han's body suddenly shone, and the ice wings on his back spread out instantly, rising into the air with the help of the rebounding power of the halo. At the same time, he drew the Junbing bow and arrow in the air. The first soul skill, Frost Shot, is activated. An ice blue arrow hit the blue halo like lightning. Boom tilde. The moment the two forces collided, a loud noise broke out. With the increase of the third soul skill, the attack power of Frost Shot increased by 100%. But even so, it was blocked by the blue halo. Shui Binger and Xiao Han's successive tentative attacks allowed them to see clearly the strength of the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast. The blue halo is like a natural barrier, preventing people from easily approaching it. But the three of them did not back down. Shui Binger and Shui Wu looked at each other and smiled. As if they had telepathy, their bodies moved at the same time. Along with the dancing snow dance, a dark cloud suddenly shrouded down, and the sky above the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast's head instantly became dark. Immediately afterwards, a downpour of rain followed, watering it down. Shui Binger and Shui Wu didn't have any raindrops on their bodies, while the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast was like a drowned rat, constantly being washed away by the heavy rain, and its vision was blurry. At this moment, Shui Binger activated her soul power. The continuously pouring rain instantly condensed into sharp ice cones, stabbing towards the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast. With Shui Wu's assistance, Shui Binger can save a lot of soul power. Those ice picks were not only sharp, but also had a freezing effect, stabbing the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast from all directions. The surface of Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast's body is protected by ice crystal scales, but it is still undisturbed. Roar tilde. The Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast opened its huge mouth and let out a deafening roar. At the same time, the blue halo on its body bloomed again, and the power of resistance burst out. Upon seeing this, Xiao Han launched another attack. He found the flaw of Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast. Although the rebound force of the halo is very powerful, most of the force is concentrated in the horizontal range, and the vertical range above the head is its weakest point. Xiao Han swooped down from the sky. With the sudden flash of the second soul ring, the second soul skill was launched with thousands of arrows fired. Countless crystal clear ice arrows condensed and formed in the air, each one containing biting coldness and sharp cutting power, like a biting storm in winter, overwhelming the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast from the sky. These ice arrows intertwined into a dense sheet in the air. The net blocked all possible evasion paths for the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast. When Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast saw this, a hint of fear flashed in its eyes. But it did not sit still and wait for death. Instead, it roared angrily, and the light blue halo on its back fluctuated violently again, turning into a huge ice shield, trying to resist the overwhelming rain of arrows. Xiao Han's thousand-year soul skill. With the increase of the third soul skill, the attack power increased by 100%. Seeing that the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast launched a defense, Xiao Han moved his mind and controlled the ice arrows. When hundreds of ice arrows were about to hit the thick ice shield, they suddenly merged into one and turned into a thick ice crystal arrow, which hit the ice shield hard. The moment the two collided, the entire earth seemed to tremble, and snowflakes arose on the ground. The seemingly indestructible ice shield exploded under this blow. Shui Binger's figure suddenly flashed out, and at the moment when the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast lost its defense, he threw out a huge ice blade condensed from soul power, hitting its head accurately. The behemoth struggled on the snow for a few times, then collapsed and remained motionless. Lin Zhiro walked over slowly, confirmed that the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast was dead, smiled and praised. The three of you performed well and cooperated very well. In the battle just now, Lin Zhiro did not take any action during the whole process, leaving it completely to the three of them to resolve it themselves. Fortunately, they succeeded. Shui Binger said modestly. Thanks to Xiao Han, without him, I wouldn't have been able to kill this soul beast. Xiao Han smiled and said. Binger, you only have 200-year soul skills now. When you have a 1000-year soul skill, it will be completely different. Really? Then I'm really looking forward to it. Several people's eyes fell on the body of the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast at the same time. A group of purple mist slowly rose from the corpse, gradually condensing into a 1000-year soul ring that released a faint purple light. Binger, adjust your state and absorb it. Good. Chapter 23 The Prototype of Martial Soul Fusion Skills. Looking at the thousand-year soul ring, Xiaohan couldn't help but sigh in his heart. Before Shui Binger started to absorb it, Xiaohan knew what kind of soul skills it would give Shui Binger. Shui Binger's first 3 soul skills seemed to have been arranged, and even he, a time traveler, could not interfere with this result in advance. Fortunately, this thousand-year soul ring can bring her good attack power. After adjusting her condition, Shui Binger began to absorb the soul ring. Lin Zhiro, Xiaohan and Shui Wu were waiting quietly. Xiaohan suddenly said, "Mom, in the battle just now, I broke through level 33. After hearing this, Lin Zhiro was a little happy. Really? In the past month, you have put a lot of energy into studying that crappy book and rarely practiced. I just want to beat you. Mom, that book is a priceless treasure. It is very precious. One day, I will prove its value to you." Okay, practicing well is your first priority. Don't be complacent. Binger and Shui Wu will soon catch up with you after absorbing the 3rd soul ring. Shui Wu took over the words. Dean Lin, just now, I also made a breakthrough. Have you broken through level 30? Lin Zhiro nodded happily. Great. After Binger finishes absorbing the soul ring, we will find a suitable soul beast for you. Xiaohan suddenly said. Mom, have you noticed that Shui Wu and Binger are getting closer and closer to each other? In the battle just now, I seem to have seen the prototype of the martial soul fusion skill. Martial spirit fusion skill. Well, I mentioned it to Binger before. Xiaohan knew that Shui Binger and Shui Wu's martial soul fusion skills would come sooner or later. However, with his early intervention, the sooner he arrives, the better. Lin Zhiro thought for a moment, nodded slightly, and looked at Shui Wu. What Xiaohan said makes sense. You and Binger are indeed getting closer to each other. Maybe you can work together to complete the martial soul fusion skill. Well, Binger also mentioned it to me, saying it was Xiaohan's suggestion. We plan to study it carefully after we obtain the 3rd soul ring. Okay, we will study it together then. As time passed by, Shui Binger finally completely absorbed the 1000-year soul ring. When she opened her eyes again, she could clearly feel that her strength had reached a new level. Xiaohan asked. Binger, you have finally absorbed the soul ring. How is it? How much has your soul power increased? Shui Binger stood up and said with a smile. Sure enough, as you said, the 1000-year soul ring seems to have raised my strength to a higher level. My soul power has increased by more than 1 level, almost to 2 levels. Well, it's almost the same as when I absorbed the soul ring last time. You may be able to break through level 32 before returning to the academy. I hope so. Shui Wu said. Binger, congratulations, you have officially become a fighting soul master. By the way, what is your 3rd soul skill? It is an attack skill, similar to the aura attack of the Frost Moon Ice Ring Beast. When I activate this soul skill, a burst of ice blue light will form an ice ring with me as the center. While inflicting damage to the opponent, it can reflect the opponent's soul skills and has a freezing effect. Lin Zhiro nodded and said. Binger, this soul skill is pretty good. Compared with the previous 2 group restrictions and defense skills, this soul skill has greatly improved your attack power. Well, thank you for finding this suitable soul beast for me. Why are you being polite to me? Isn't this what I should do? Let me tell you good news, Shui Wu has also exceeded level 30. Really? Shui Binger looked at Shui Wu with surprise. Shui Wu, you will soon have your own 3rd soul ring. Xiaohan looked around, it was still very bright. While it's still dark, let's go find the soul beast. Good. The group of 4 people continued to move forward, looking for a suitable 1000-year soul beast for Shui Wu. After 2 days of unremitting search, the 4 came to an ice and snow forest. Suddenly, a clear and long cry came from not far away, like a note in the cold wind. It was eye-catching. It's Bingyu's snow kite. Lin Zhirio's keen perception allowed her to immediately detect the unusual aura. Follow me quickly. Lin Zhirio's figure flashed out, followed closely by Xiaohan, Shui Binger and Shui Wu. As the distance got closer, the flawless white figure gradually became clearer. A ice-whispering snow kite is soaring in the forest, waving its snow-white wings, as if looking for prey. Lin Zhuro felt that the cultivation level of the ice-whispering snow kite exceeded 1,000 years, but was less than 2,000 years. That was the target soul beast of their trip. The ice-whispering snow kite can control the wind and snow. The one in the sky has a cultivation level of over 1,000 years, which is perfect for snow dance. Mom, we should deal with this soul beast ourselves. It is hovering high in the sky. By the time you get close, it may have run away. Do you have any good ideas? Lin Zhuro didn't want to miss this suitable soul beast, but she was more willing to give the children the opportunity to exercise. Allowing them to hunt the soul beasts by themselves can test their courage and strength, and also cultivate a tacit understanding between them. Xiao Han thought for a while and said, Mom, we can outwit you and use one of us as bait. Shuiwu stood up. Xiao Han has a good idea, let me be the bait. Xiao Han and Shui Binger looked at each other and nodded. Shui Wu, who has the weakest attack power, is indeed more suitable as a bait. Shui Wu, be careful then. Well, it'll be okay, I believe you. After Shui Wu finished speaking, she walked out alone. Xiao Han, Shui Binger and Lin Zhuro carefully shuttled through the forest, keeping an appropriate distance from Shui Wu. The ice-whispering snow kite soon discovered the human girl who was walking alone on the open snow. Suddenly, it swooped down. Incited by the pair of huge wings, a storm of ice and snow rushed towards Shuiwu at an alarming speed. At the moment when the Bingyu snow kite swooped down, Xiao Han released his perfect ice bow and arrow spirit. Thousands of arrows fired together. Following Xiao Han's low shout, a stream of ice-blue arrows shot towards Bingyu snow kite like a shower. The Bingyu snow kite has a natural fear of bows and arrows. Faced with the sudden attack of arrows, it screamed and flapped its wings to fly. At this moment, Shui Binger fell from the sky and displayed her third soul skill. An icy blue halo spread rapidly with her as the center and hit Bingyu Shui Yuan's body hard. The powerful impact knocked it to the ground, splashing a snowflake. The Bingyu snow kite that landed on the ground was obviously seriously injured, its feathers were messy, and its eyes revealed unwillingness and despair. Shui Wu didn't hesitate at all, and she came over in a flash. The sharp blade in her hand shone with cold light in the sun, and she swung the decisive blow mercilessly. The sharp blade penetrated the chest of Bingyu Shui Yuan, ending its life. Chapter 24 Opportunities to Make Money. 3 hours later, Shui Wu woke up from absorbing the soul ring. She was surrounded by a faint ice-blue mist, which was the energy fluctuation brought by the newly obtained 1,000-year soul ring. Shui Wu, how do you feel? Shui Binger asked with concern immediately, with a happy smile for her friend on her face. Shui Wu smiled slightly, her eyes flashing with joy. It feels great. I'm almost the same as you. My soul power has increased by nearly 2 levels. My strength seems to have crossed over to a whole new level. When Lin Zhuro heard this, her eyes were filled with joy. Very good, it seems that this choice is very suitable. What kind of soul skills have you obtained? This soul skill is what I dream of. It can control the weather and bring ice and snow. After Shui Wu finished speaking, the soul power around her body began to gather. As she danced gracefully, the originally calm sky suddenly became covered with dark clouds, and then pieces of ice crystal snowflakes fell from the sky. The snowflakes are falling continuously, each one containing a biting chill. The surrounding temperature dropped suddenly, and even the air seemed to solidify. This is my third soul skill, ice and snow. Shui Wu explained. Once this soul skill is activated, it will not be terminated. It will continue to consume the opponent's soul power, forcing the opponent to continue to cover the body surface with soul power to resist the cold. A hint of approval flashed in Xiao Han's eyes. Shui Wu's soul skill was just as he imagined. This kind of soul skill that can continuously consume the opponent's soul power is undoubtedly a powerful presence in team battles. With the ability to control ice and snow, Shui Wu can join forces with Shui Binger to complete martial soul fusion skills. Afterwards, a group of 4 people left the frozen forest. On the way back to Tianshui City, Shui Binger successfully broke through the 32nd level. Back to not long after the academy, Xuewu also broke through to level 32. After getting the Illustrated Guide of Immortal Grasses, Xiaohan spent a lot of energy studying it, which had some impact on his cultivation. After learning all the knowledge about immortal grasses, Xiaohan also devoted himself to cultivation. 3 months later, his soul power increased by 1 level and reached level 34. At this time, another member of the team, Yu Haro, also broke through level 30. Yu Haro is the oldest member of the team, 3 years older than Xiaohan. Her martial soul is the coral barracuda, and there are many soul beasts suitable for her in the Xingdu Great Forest, so she doesn't have to go to the frozen forest. That day, Lin Zhuro gathered the 8 members of the team. Kids, our team has been formed for almost a year. Although you have trained together many times, you have not experienced a real team battle. Xiaohan, Binger and Xuewu have worked together to hunt soul beasts in the frozen forest, and they cooperated well. But we are a whole and need to cooperate with everyone in the team. Next, I will take you to participate in more actual combat to improve your overall tacit understanding and actual combat experience. Everyone was excited to hear this news. Great, we can finally participate in actual combat together. Lin Zhuro continued. There are many ways to take you to participate in actual combat, such as, challenge other teams in the fighting arena as a team, exchange and learn with teams from other colleges, hunt soul beasts together, etc. The opportunity to test you has come. We are about to go to the Xingdu Great Forest to find a suitable 1000-year soul beast for Hai Ru to be her 3rd soul ring. This time, from finding to hunting soul beasts, you will complete it by yourself, understand? I understand. Okay. You all go back and prepare, and set off tomorrow. Okay. Everyone is looking forward to going to the Xingdu Great Forest. After several people dispersed, Lin Zhuro left Xiaohan alone. Xiaohan, when we go to the Xingdu Great Forest, you should stay out of the spotlight. Xiaohan joked. Mom, what do you mean? Just because I'm a substitute, you treat me differently. What nonsense are you talking about, brat? With your current strength, you can hunt 1000-year soul beasts alone, so leave the opportunity to them. Okay, I get it. But I can use my advantages to help find soul beasts, right? Sure. Xiaohan smiled. Mom, after we hunt soul beasts, should we go back to the academy or go to the soul fighting arena? Go to the soul fighting arena and show you around. Great. Maybe we can make a fortune in the soul fighting arena. Lin Zhuro frowned. What do you mean by making a fortune? What are you thinking about? Mom, I heard that you can place bets in the fighting spirit arena. I spent a lot of money on whale glue, so I want to make some money to pay you back. What nonsense are you talking about? I took you there to improve your practical experience. Don't think about those messy things. Go back and pack your things. Mom, I'm so old now, I can make my own decisions on some things. You little brat, are you itching for trouble? Lin Zhuro kicked over, and Xiaohan dodged sideways and disappeared in a puff of smoke. The next day, Xiaohan and his group of 10 set off for the Xingdu Great Forest. There are many soul beasts in the Xingdu Great Forest. For the safety of the children, Lin Zhuro brought a teacher with her. The teacher's name is Lu Yan, and her soul power has reached level 62. Half a month later, a group of 10 people arrived at the Xingdu Great Forest. Lin Zhuro said, Children, from now on, it's up to you to find and hunt soul beasts. As the captain of the team, Shui Binger stood up and responded. President Lin, don't worry, we will definitely complete the task. Well, I believe in you, let's go. The group moved deeper into the forest. This was Xiaohan's first time to the Xingdu Great Forest. Not only him, Shui Binger and Shui Yuei had never been here before. Shui Yuei's martial soul is Yingyu Dolphin. Soul beasts with ice and water attributes are suitable for her. Soul beasts with cold attributes can increase her attack power, so her first 2 soul rings were obtained in the frozen forest. The Xingdu Great Forest is completely different from the quiet and cold frozen forest. It shows a primitive and majestic vitality. The sunlight shines through the dense treetops and sprinkles on the ground in a mottled manner. The air is filled with the fresh fragrance of soil and flowers, occasionally mixed with the low roar of unknown beasts in the distance. The trees here grow unusually tall, with mosses and vines covering their trunks, showing the traces of time. The paths in the forest are winding and covered with fallen leaves and dead branches. In this harmony, various crises are also hidden. As the team goes deeper, the sounds around them gradually become richer. From time to time, huge soul beasts pass through the bushes, their eyes flashing with wildness and vigilance, keeping a high degree of vigilance against this group of uninvited guests. Xiao Han looked around and felt the fluctuations of soul power in the air. The other members of the team were also alert and ready to deal with possible dangers at any time. Lin Zhiro and Lu Yan walked on both sides of the team, providing the necessary security for these young students. As everyone was walking, Xiao Han suddenly said to his teammates, "This forest is too big, and it's not a good idea to search like this. I'll fly up to see if there are rivers or lakes." "Well, then you be careful. Don't worry, nothing will happen." After Xiao Han finished speaking, he released the icy winged sword into the sky and disappeared from everyone's sight in the blink of an eye. Chapter 25 Snow and Ice. Xiao Han has the ability to fly and can see farther in the air. He soared above the star forest with a sharp gaze. Not long after flying out, we saw a deep and tranquil lake. Xiao Han noticed that there were many fish soul beasts swimming leisurely in the lake. There might be 1,000-year-old soul beast suitable for Hyrule in that lake. Xiao Han quickly turned back, landed in front of the team, and excitedly shared his discovery. "I found it. There is a lake not far away, where a large number of fish soul beasts gather." Everyone was surprised when they heard this. Shui Binger said, "There is no time to lose, let's go now." "Okay, I'll lead the way, and you guys follow." Under the leadership of Xiao Han, the group moved quickly towards the lake. Not long after, they arrived at the lake. The full picture of the lake appeared before everyone. The lake is not very big, only a few hundred meters wide, but judging from the color of the lake's surface, it seems very deep. It can be clearly seen that there are fish soul beasts swimming in the lake. Yu Haro, Ji Yu Kingbo, Chen Luyu and Chu Ruoshui all have fish beast spirits and can easily travel through the lake. Shui Yuer can also bring out the advantages of her martial spirit in the water. Xiao Han, Shui Binger and Shui Wu have the same ice attribute as water. Their advantage in water is not as obvious as the other 5 people, but they can convert water elements into ice elements for attack and defense. Everyone approached the lake cautiously. Lin Zhiro and Lu Yan stayed on the shore. Shui Binger reminded, "There are many unknown soul beasts in this lake. Everyone, be careful and don't be too scattered." Clear. Suddenly, a 3-meter-long fish caught Xiao Han's attention. Its body is covered with blue stripes, and its serrated dorsal fin shines coldly in the sunlight. Xiao Han recognized that it was a bluefin sawfish. "Look, that bluefin sawfish. Its cultivation should be more than 1,000 years and no more than 2,000 years. It is exactly what Hyrule needs." Several people followed Xiao Han's gaze and saw the bluefin sawfish. It was floating on the lake, chewing something in its mouth, as if it had just caught some prey. The 2 rows of saw teeth flashed with a cold light and looked extremely sharp. "That's it. Get ready for a fight. There should be other similar creatures like it. Be careful." After Shui Binger finished speaking, she immediately released her Ice Phoenix martial spirit and prepared to launch an attack. As her first soul ring suddenly flashed, the freezing skill was instantly activated. The surrounding temperature dropped suddenly, and a layer of hard ice crystals began to form on the surface of the lake. The layer of ice spread rapidly, targeting the bluefin sawfish. Almost at the same time, several other people also released their martial spirits and spirit rings. Xiao Han flashed and arrived above the lake. The bluefin sawfish felt threatened and made a sharp buzzing sound the moment it was frozen, attracting the attention of the group. A group of bluefin sawfish rushed over from all directions. The surface of the lake began to shake violently. All of a sudden, countless sharp water blades shot out from under the lake, like dense rain of arrows, attacking several people. Faced with this sudden attack, the girls did not panic at all. They quickly gathered on the ice, formed a circular matrix, and launched a counterattack against the school of fish. At this time, the bluefin sawfish that had been cultivating for 1,000 years had been completely controlled by Shui Binger, in the ice under her feet. As long as you repel the school of fish, you can kill it. While several people were fighting fiercely with the school of fish, a larger bluefin sawfish suddenly rushed over not far away. The powerful impact caused the lake surface to shake even more violently. Seeing this, Xiaohan flew into the air and locked his eyes on the bluefin sawfish that was over 6 meters long. The soul power fluctuations emanating from that guy were even stronger than the 3,000-year-old soul beast he had encountered in the frozen forest before. Obviously, it has been practicing for at least 3,000 years, and may be the leader of this group of bluefin sawfish. Everyone be careful, the leader of this group of fish is coming. As Xiaohan spoke, he pulled the bowstring to its full length. The first soul skill, frost shooting, is activated. The ice blue arrow shot out instantly and hit the huge monster directly. With the enhancement of the third soul skill, the attack power of frost shooting increased by 100%. What surprised Xiaohan was that this attack did not seem to cause any damage to the bluefin sawfish, nor did it stop it from moving forward. Seeing this scene, Luyan on the shore couldn't help but frown. President Lin, that is a 5,000-year-old soul beast. They are also being besieged by a school of fish. Why don't we take action? Don't be impatient, wait and see. Lin Zhuro stood on the shore with a calm expression. She knew that being in dangerous situations could better stimulate the potential of these young soul masters. The tentative attack failed to stop the powerful bluefin sawfish, but Xiaohan was not discouraged. His eyes became even sharper. Without thinking too much, he pulled the bowstring again, spread his icy wings, and swooped down towards the monster at an extremely fast speed. This time, he will use his second soul skill and shoot thousands of arrows at once. Although this is a long-range attack skill, a closer distance can maximize its power. Seeing that the young human spirit master dared to look down upon him, the bluefin sawtooth fish was furious. It opened its huge mouth and spewed out a huge water blade shot towards Xiaohan. Xiaohan flapped his wings and passed by the water blade. The bluefin sawtooth fish opened its huge mouth again, and the sharp water blades spit out one after another. Xiaohan shuttled through those water blades at high speed. Although he was very fast, he was still scratched by the dense water blade, and a burst of pain hit him. But Xiaohan ignored the pain in his body and his eyes suddenly lit up. At this time, the giant mouth of the bluefin sawtooth fish just opened, ready to launch an attack. Xiaohan smiled evilly and said angrily. Just in time. In your mouth. Countless ice blue arrows suddenly shot towards the giant mouth, colliding hard with the water blade it issued. Boom! The moment the two forces collided, a deafening sound broke out. The huge bluefin sawtooth fish was so shaken that it rolled over and stopped moving forward. Xiaohan took advantage of this shock wave, took advantage of the situation, and retreated to the rear. At the same time, on the other side. As the snow danced, dark clouds suddenly appeared over the lake, and snowflakes as big as goose feathers fell from the sky. Shui Binger released the original power of the ice phoenix spirit. Under Shui Binger's control, those snowflakes condensed into a huge blue phoenix with a body length of 7 meters. The temperature in the space where the phoenix was located suddenly dropped to freezing point. Under that powerful cold force, hundreds of meters of lake surface was instantly frozen. Even the water blade attacks launched by the bluefin sawtooth fish were frozen in the air. The bluefin sawtooth fish that Xiaohan stopped was completely frozen and unable to move. Looking at this scene, everyone was stunned. Lu Yan's eyes widened in disbelief. Dean Lin, is this? That's right. It's the soul fusion skill of Binger and Shui Wu. They finally succeeded.